Facts and caps are finna go up, nigga. I'm just outside with my dog. Okay. I'm
en la ciencia.
Of course. Tryna move forward. Push.
She said, he the what, the who? Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. Heard it, seen it, probably wasn't true. Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. He said, we said wasn't going. Got these people acting like they know it. Facts and cash, we go my back to back, and nigga, all be capping if we ain't got the facts. I mean, she said, he the what, the who? Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. Heard it, seen it, probably wasn't true. Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. He said, we said wasn't going. Got these people acting like they know it. Facts and cash, we go my back to back, and nigga, all be capping if we ain't got the facts. I mean, I'm in a sword. Come get your nigga, man, come get your boy. He like to jump to conclusion, he dumb to illusion. He stupid, the goofy little boy. Bro on his feelings and she on a horse. I'm a finagle, the beggar like horse. None of you niggas is trying to move forward. I'm done to hop off a Porsche, so hop in the Porsche when I'm back. Yeah, add it up and you ain't getting no break and you ain't bad enough. You got time for the drama, but you're bagging up. We drunk in the club, acting up on your bitch. Is what it is. Promise to be about the money, don't like it to dip. Young nigga coming like this. Promise this shit is a movie, I hate, I don't miss. She said, he the what, the who? Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. Heard it, seen it, probably wasn't true. Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. He said, we said wasn't going. Got these people acting like they know it. Facts and cash, we go my back to back, and nigga, all be capping if we ain't got the facts. I mean, she said, he the what, the who? Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. Heard it, seen it, probably wasn't true. Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. He said, we said wasn't going. Got these people acting like they know it. Facts and cash, we go my back to back, and nigga, all be capping if we ain't got the facts. I mean, watch how they watching me. Niggas was holding they last slab, but up here said they couldn't do none of me. Same ones handing out hashtags, but they couldn't even put a gun on me. All of these niggas is sons of me. I'm the original, you just the wannabe. I'm who you wanna be, better let go. Yippee-ki-yo, press the and hit the fucking link in my bio. If you really bout it, you can slide, bro. If you really bout the drama, you can slide, bro. Ayy, petty pussy nigga on a psycho, ayy. Coulda murked a nigga on sight, though, ayy. Coulda had a sucking low lipo, ayy. None of you niggas could fuck with me. She said, he the what, the who? Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. Heard it, seen it, probably wasn't true. Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. He said, we said wasn't going. Got these people acting like they know it. Facts and cash, we go my back to back, and nigga, all be capping if we ain't got the facts. I mean, she said, he the what, the who? Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. Heard it, seen it, probably wasn't true. Hold up, nigga, talk about it, yeah. He said, we said wasn't going. Got these people acting like they know it. Facts and cash, we go my back to back, and nigga, all be capping if we ain't got the facts. I mean,
Yeah, Facts and Cap Podcast, episode 36. We are back, baby.
Episode motherfucking 36.
What's going on, man? Y'all boys good? How was y'all week?
Man,
Shit. Regular
shit.
Regular smagular. What we starting off with, man? We're gonna talk about this Nike VP situation.
hey, fuck that nigga. You owe me about 17 per day.
So apparently, a Nike executive, let me see if I can find her name.
These thugs.
Ann Herbert, whatever her name is. She's a vice president or executive at Nike. Her son, she stepped down basically, allegedly because her son was using her business credit card, basically, to do his resale business. And you know, he was on Instagram flexing like he basically had a warehouse full of shoes. Like he was clocking in 6 figures a month, over 6 figures a month. Like it's $1 million business basically. And you know, it just started a whole bunch of controversy online. They even did a thread about like how he did it. Like this is deeper than rap. Like it goes real deep. So you know, a lot of people were just saying like, you know, there wasn't no criminal charges or anything, you know. They was trying to say she didn't know that this was going on. But find that kind of hard to believe, you
Some
know.
bullshit, yeah. It's me.
He had a bot business, all that. Like all that money was supplying all of that. You know, he was literally ordering warehouses full of shoes, restocking, the resales, all that. So my thing is, do you think? I guess my first question would be, if one of y'all did that, y'all going to jail?
It's a fact.
Y'all going to jail?
I ain't gonna think twice about it.
What y'all think about it? Tell me, y'all
I
react.
think, first off, like,
What do you
that
do?
nigga had a sweet lick, if you think about it, but he just had a flex.
Yeah,
He got caught flexing.
he actually told like a newspaper somehow he did it.
That's that privilege shit.
So yeah,
But like, damn, it was like, you had that sweet lick, you got a connection directly, you selling, making money. So I get you gotta show out a little bit, but forgot you caught up, man. Keep it low.
yeah,
That's my first reaction. Other than that, that's just bullshit. It's more fuck shit, man. Fuck up the shoe game, reselling all that bot shit, and then it's like, damn, bro.
yeah. You can't even go in the store no more and just get shoes.
It's like it just changed the game. Like,
And we finally figured out the reason why we can't use the sneakers app.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean between bots and whatnot. Like look at these pictures, bro. He has pictures. I don't know if y'all can see it, but like he has pictures lined up of just his shoe selection. Like this is crazy. Let me see if I can kind of do a short thing of the thread I seen. Basically, they broke it down and basically said that, you know, it started, he lived in Portland, you know, that's where the Nike, you know, like headquarters is. He had bots, sneaker snag release, online faster than real users. Basically, he was the plug. But by the time he got in U of O, so University of Oregon, he basically boosted. He stepped his game up with it. He was getting Nikes, Jordans, selling them an extra 100 a pair. So think about it. They said he was making $200K a month. Then they was just getting stuff that like he was getting stuff that was being discontinued, all that shit. So that even hyped him up even more, because then you could probably sell it for more than just an extra 100. And basically, I'm trying to figure out where they said that what they said, how he told on himself. Basically, he was buying in bulk, and it was heavily discounted because of.
You got the family discount.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out exactly. Okay, it says he was telling a Bloomberg journalist all of it, everything, and basically, when he called the Bloomberg journalist, his mom paid a cell phone bill. So his mom's cell phone, her name came up on the caller ID. He Googled the mom's name, and that's how the journalist connected everything together. So he basically told on himself, but like you said, that's
So
that
why would
privilege.
you tell, like, what was the point of the call to the journalist? Like, did he thought...
Privilege. He probably didn't think that. He probably either really didn't think what he was doing was like illegal.
Girl journalist?
No,
Huh?
he was calling a journalist to brag about like what he was doing
Yeah.
to boost himself.
Yeah, he's trying to promote himself. What you saying? Just greedy. Basically being greedy. Like you already. They said 600, 200 a month, 100 a month, bro. Just be content with that. But you know.
Nah, that nigga, that's the nigga on StockX selling all the shit.
I did the math and took out the taxes. He was making like 7.4 mil
Come
a
on,
year.
man. Come on, dog. And you still in college?
He was
Fucking
making,
up the bag.
He was making 24 mil before taxes.
Man, his mama had something to do with it. Ain't nothing you can tell me.
They connected his dad to it too.
Yeah, his dad had started a business
Oh yeah, I saw that.
under his name, signed it over to his son,
See?
and then.
So y'all think all this is going down and the mom don't know nothing about it?
Yeah, it's
You
not
got fucking
yeah,
lied.
it's not illegal though.
How is it illegal?
What you do wrong?
It's not illegal necessarily for him.
You can't use the code as an employee. You're not supposed to
She
resell.
resigned because an employee can't resell. The son ain't do. She ain't do nothing wrong.
But using her card, that's what I'm saying. She
But
was
using the code though, the employee.
She
is the
said
employee
she didn't know.
I mean, that's what we saying. Like, that's
why
privilege.
it's fucked up.
That's basically the point that we're trying to make. Like, that's the privilege. Like, I feel like
Fuck all
had
that. I
it
seen
been-
that shit happen at Gwinnett Place Mall with smaller employees. So
Yeah, I mean, but there's a difference between one.
1.4 million or 7.4.
It's different when that shit is
dollars,
happening.
nigga.
yeah, when Chinese 12 sell out before we get inside, fuck it.
At this point, he was even selling tips and insights on how to do the shit. For basically, it says $250 for 10 minutes, shit like that. Like, yeah, but I don't know, like, yeah, it says so one day he calls his journalist friend to touch base on how cool he is. So,
This nigga just want clout. He got to.
yeah, he wanted clout. It wasn't even about the money at this point. And that's
he
the
probably
problem.
like this shit. He ain't going to jail. He's like, oh, I'm lit.
And I hate to be that old nigga being like, that's what's wrong with this generation. But that's really is what's wrong with the I mean, there's people in our generation who do it too, but like, especially the kids who just grew up knowing nothing but the internet, that's kind of the issue right there. It's just like, yo, you getting the money, you ain't got to do all that for the clout. You already posting on the gram, all that. Like, why do you need to call a journalist?
So I already be famous and rich, nigga.
Yeah, so, yeah, no.
Probably already rich.
She the fucking executive. She definitely your privilege. Shit.
You wanted that fame, man.
T.I. and Tiny, y'all.
We going straight there?
T.I. and Tiny, bro. What happened? Cause I seen you sent the message. What happened?
But basically, from what I'm getting from it, these niggas, let me see. Let me pull up the message.
One like they seeking criminal charges.
Yeah, it's
Lawyers
not-
are seeking an
At
investigation.
first, it was just a defamation, a character, because you know, basically, it was like, oh, you call.
Oh, girl is suing for
Yeah.
a defamation of character because she says that what he did to her when he put the gun to her head, that it was past the statute of limitations. So then basically, I think now a lawyer, because you know all those allegations came out, a lawyer even said basically is seeking a criminal investigation against T.I. and Tiny. So he's already not even like they canceled his role on Ant-Man.
Bad.
Yeah, they killed. They already stopped the production for the show. For family, friends, and hustle. So that's like Monica's bag.
What's the one used to be in the
Toya's bag. Everybody's bag is fucked up because they are the head of that show. That's their show.
I mean, he didn't have that big role, man, but still.
I mean, but you know that Disney
It's a
bag.
great look. I'm talking about for him.
Yeah. Especially on Disney. That's what I'm saying. That's a Disney bag. He probably made more money than that he make on a couple albums. You know what I'm saying? Just doing that little ass role.
Bro, that shit sell hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah. So it seems like things are going in a downward spiral. So we can revisit this topic. You know, like, do you think that that's fair that this is happening? Or like
fair? Not the
I don't think fair is a word.
yeah.
I wouldn't call it fair. I think it's just when you have that many allegations, it's due diligence.
At this point, this is just the
especially
business.
in this time.
This is the climate,
the
basically.
climate.
This shit was 10 years ago. Like, alright, well, hey, if this shit come out, we might have to do something. If not, nigga, tape still rolling. We got this shit's already invested.
To me, I would. It's unfair. So I'll say it's unfair because it's the lifestyle you choose to live. You get associated with criminal acts, where it might just be not, but
Especially as a black man.
as a black man, but at the same time, when you have multiple sexual partners and there's drugs involved, you're more likely to be associated with that. It's easier for public opinion to be like, oh, you probably.
I got a question, y'all.
Versus that, if you was just minding your own business.
Facts.
Now, that being one of your favorite rappers, or is your favorite rapper, are you gonna treat him the same way that you treat R. Kelly if this comes back and it's factual?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
I'm just asking. I wouldn't.
Shit, R. Kelly was probably. I think Usher, he was like one of my favorite R&B artists, but I think what made it so easy about R. Kelly though is like he would put little hints in the music and shit, so it's just like
teasing your ass.
yeah, so it's like kind of like damn, like
I can't get away from that shit.
yeah, like the only and like literally I was listening to Pandora the other day and like the only song I could even like Get Through It, R. Kelly is like I Wish or like I Wish remix. Something that don't have nothing to do
I
with
Believe
like,
I Can Fly.
I'm just not really into. I mean, that's a beautiful song. I just never really just like when I'm working, I'm not trying to listen to I
I
Believe I
think we
Can
sung
Fly.
that shit at goddamn fifth grade graduation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what those songs is for. Like you ain't just.
I'm just saying like, but that one.
You gotta be in the mood to be playing that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I would do that for T.I.
I just see.
I honestly, but right now, I mean, just like when I'm watching it, how Shawty was basically just putting any allegation out there. There's no fact checks behind that. You're literally just saying whatever you want. Now, I do think, like I said, I think everybody's hands are dirty in the situation. I don't know to what extent. You know what I'm saying? I think T.I. might have, tiptoed on a line. Especially a lot of these are talking about like this was 10 years ago. This was, I see people saying this was in 2004, like when I was reading those stuff. It's like, man, that climate is kind of different when you talking about doing
what
drugs.
was okay then ain't okay now.
Exactly. So that's kind of tiptoeing. I feel like what R. Kelly was doing from the jump was never cool. Like you married Aaliyah, that was never acceptable.
So what if it comes out like they can't really prove anything except that maybe there was an underage girl a couple times that lied about their age? And,
I mean, if they lied,
and so like he might have.
okay, if they lied, I would say that T.I. probably should have been more responsible in that situation, and that's something you learn from. But I wouldn't necessarily.
Like it's not.
Yeah, I don't think that's a kill shot.
Let's take the underage girls out of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say if he was just drugging bitches and they was fucking them, or he
Are you
holding them
drugging?
against their will. I'm saying,
No,
like, is it the
no.
same thing? Is
No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to know. If you're drugging them intentionally,
Yeah, nah.
like, no, there's nothing to talk about. I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? That's going to hurt my soul. Listen, that's going to hurt my soul, but that's just me. Now, I don't expect everybody to do it. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who be like, I separate.
Specifically for you.
I just feel like this is the man who said, I use this line all the time. Pimp by force, pimp by choice, not force. I would never be charged with a rape. If she say no, I'ma let her be. That's T.I.
15 years later.
So you want me to listen to Get Loose after you out here drugging bitches? I can't do it no more. You know what I'm saying?
And like for the people who be like, man, that nigga's famous. So many girls want him.
That shit come on in the strip club
too many times.
Yeah.
Kellen Winslow, Darren Sharper.
Yeah, bro.
Niggas that famous. Don't stop.
There is a society like
Hey, I
Kellen
do
Winslow
need
was
to
out
do
here
some-
raping old women,
I got
homeless
some
women.
research, bro, but I need to get a deeper story on Karl Malone. I keep hearing shit about.
Karl Malone had a baby by like a 11-year-old, 12-year-old child.
That shit
bro.
cool in Utah though.
I don't know if that happened in Utah though.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't know if
Like,
that's, I don't think that's legal in Utah. To fucking 12 to have sex.
I ain't saying like that to that
I don't
Yeah.
think
extreme, but I'm just
saw
saying.
yet when that happened. It might have been. I don't know, but
No. He was like 26 and she was like 12.
Oh,
I said I got.
He got her
I
pregnant.
said I'm gonna do some more research
boy,
myself.
because I didn't claim him for years.
Yeah.
He became a football player. He was like a lineman,
Yeah.
And
No,
then-
Karl Malone is crazy.
and then like
I mean, Karl Malone
I never heard his whole story.
Karl Malone was never one of us anyway. He wasn't never one of us.
He tried. He got his soul playing.
He said he don't want to play. He didn't want to play in the All-Star game with Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
He said he didn't get that blood on him. What's going to happen? Like, bro, when the blood touched the air, it's not gonna be, you know.
If that had happened like today, it would have been a crazy story. It was just one of those shit nobody really talked about.
Yeah.
That's why that shit got swept under the rug. That's why I
There's
said.
not many
He
stories.
still did like TV shows
Oh,
and like
yeah.
guest appearances on NBA.
Hell
And
yeah.
now, if you notice, you don't really see Karl Malone out like that.
Hell no. The last time I seen Karl Malone was when Odell Beckham was drunk as fuck trying to post him up at the national championship game on the field. You remember that?
Oh no.
You remember when Odell was drunk as fuck and they was like, yo, this nigga Odell had a hell of a night. Remember?
I remember saying we was passing out money and shit.
So you know, Karl Malone, didn't Karl Malone go to LSU? I think Karl Malone went to LSU. He's from Louisiana.
Louisiana.
So he was,
Okay.
you know, at the end of the game, they was on the field, and he went up to Karl Malone. He's drunk as fuck. He just started posting him up like. There was like this nigga Odell showed his whole ass that night. He showed his
He went
whole
to
ass.
Louisiana Tech.
Okay, so it's just a Louisiana thing. He just went to the game, yeah.
fan.
But yeah, Karl Malone is a creep, bro. He's a creep.
My
So.
bad, I don't know how this got him crying. Fuck it. If he did the shit, then fuck it. You deserve these shots.
Yeah, so I mean,
Did it just came out?
Like I said, I just
no, it's his kid.
It's his kid.
No, it's 100% factual.
It take years.
I
for him
believe
to-
it. I'm just saying. I want to hear everything.
No, I feel you. So, you know, we all wanted well, I'm gonna ask y'all this. Ice Cube put up an Instagram post, and it was kind of like a cartoon version of all the characters from Friday, the main characters from Friday, and he said, "Free Friday from the jaws of Warner Brothers, who refuse to make more sequels. They have hijacked the happiness of the culture."
I'm tired of hearing from Ice Cube.
My question: Pops is gone,
Debo.
gone, Chris
Chris
Tucker
Tucker
ain't
gone.
coming back. Do we really need to see another Friday,
Hell no.
or are y'all continuing?
If there's another Friday, it would literally
Burn
have to
back
be
on.
like a new. It would have to be like a new thing where it's like the kids, like Chris Rock kid is goddamn DC.
Chris Tucker?
Chris Tucker is DC's his kid. Like it gotta be like some kid
I
like
think my bad,
a spin off of it. Like I don't want to see like you try to go off because ain't nobody there no more. Like the main people we want to see on there is not gonna be there.
I agree, but I think even that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Like the whole DC and
I think
Ice Cube son shit.
They
I
talked
don't
about
wanna
it.
see
They
that no
talked
more.
about it too long for them not to do it.
But for them to just do another sequel, it's like, bro, Bernie Mac gone. Pops is gone. Chris Tucker is not doing it. He said it so many
he's not
times he's not doing it. And Debo gone. It's like, bro, I'm good.
Don't nobody want to see Terry Crews.
I'm good.
So-
Terry Crews is gone. Like I'm good. Like I'm good off it. Just let we can live with the classic.
We can keep the three we
Because I
got.
also think if you do, first of all, the Friday movies never were high budget. So I think now in today's age, you need a bigger budget.
Or go straight.
And it's and if you go straight to DVD, that's gonna be disappointing. And right now you ain't shit really going straight like to the movie theater like you watching shit on TV, like you know what I mean? Like you watching on the Fire Stick or HBO Max, shit like that. So it's just like
I mean, it would literally have.
I think it would ruin. It wouldn't ruin it, but it would just kind of. It'll be like it's no purpose.
It's not
The
necessary.
legacy, like
It won't help the legacy.
yeah, it's not gonna help the legacy. I ain't gonna say it's gonna ruin the legacy, but what does it help? It's kind of like when and it's nowhere near the same, but just kind of like when they redid How High. You know what I'm saying? Like I watched it with Lil Yachty and
Y'all told me I ain't make it past 10 minutes.
It was terrible.
I never cut it on.
it was terrible. Or
Belly too.
Belly 2 or
Chill, man. The game was in there.
Yeah.
like
I ain't watching either.
trash, bro. Nobody want to watch those.
Hey, but speaking of remakes, y'all ready for Friday?
What?
Coming to America?
Oh.
Oh, nigga, you gotta be specific.
Yeah.
We just talking about Friday. You talking about
Double Friday? Oh shit.
Nah, but how y'all think
I'm
this is
not
gonna
interested.
be?
I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but that's another one. Like, I just don't like. Why?
I feel like the people that's involved, there's enough of the people from the original
That
that
shit
it
look
could
corny.
be good.
Niggas gonna kill me.
That shit gonna look corny.
I'm not the biggest Coming to America fan. I like it. It's funny. but
I mean,
I'm not
agree.
like that's not my favorite.
It's not
Murphy
something that
movie.
I felt like was needed to call for a sequel. This is a money grab.
I didn't think it was a sequel.
I didn't
think it should have had a sequel, but just for having the original people, I really feel like it's made. It has the potential to be good.
But I seen the preview. I seen the trailer.
Yeah,
It looked like it could work.
The trailer looked funny.
It looked funny. It looked like the
Eddie
storyline.
Murphy can still play all his roles at his age.
Yeah, he's still
It's
doing
still
all the
gonna be
makeup,
funny.
and Arsenio Hall's still doing it. They added it. It looks like it's not. It looks like it's a sequel. If that makes sense. It's 20 years. What is it? 30 years later.
Put it like this: if I see one, I need it to be close to as good.
It's not.
Just
gotta
as
remember
good. That's
that.
what I'm saying. It looks more
Modern.
popcorn to me. Like it looks like he's playing the father, and it's like I don't know. It just looks like it's kind of corny.
But I would say to me, it looks like a natural progression. And they look like they're not trying to remake the first movie. They're literally what would have happened 30 years later. And it's like if
I guess
you want
for
to know
me-
what would happen.
I guess for me, that's like
the movie
something
you wanna
like
watch.
I'm not interested in what happened 30 years
I
later.
think I'm
so
more.
for me,
I
it's just
think I'm
kinda
more
like-
optimistic
Like,
about this one. I
I don't-
really think it's gonna be good. I
I
think
wanna
it's gonna be a
see
good movie.
I see us coming to America too, but I don't want to see a Space Jam too.
Exactly.
I don't really care to see either one.
I'll look at it.
When
I will always watch it,
watch
just
it.
out of curiosity.
When I heard
and
about
if
it,
they prove me wrong, I'll admit it. But I just don't think none of them.
Because I think a Space Jam 2 could work if you just.
For the kids who ain't seen the first one.
Because, like, nostalgia makes Space Jam amazing. But it's not, like, the greatest.
People don't realize that.
But I also
It's just like, oh my God, Michael Jordan, Bugs
And I
Bunny.
also expect Space Jam, the second one, to maybe be better than the first one, just because
Whoa.
I don't think. Look, I'm gonna say this.
technology's better.
I think the
That's what I
technology's
was
better.
saying, like-
I think LeBron is not touching anything that he can't that's gonna fuck his legacy or just gonna make it look worse. Cause you know if the shit is
why I
not
think it's
good, they're
gonna
gonna
be
say,
worse.
"Oh, Michael Jordan shit was la 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 la." So I just don't see LeBron as the strategic man to me.
I think it's gonna be worth it because back then,
I think we're gonna.
Warner
think
Brothers
it's
and
worse.
Looney Tunes, they can say anything they want and get away with that
Yeah.
shit. With the culture we got now, they gotta watch whatever they say. Now it's not gonna.
But I'm saying,
It's
like,
a cartoon though.
but the funniest thing, the better thing about it is LeBron has more character than Michael
He's a
Jordan.
way better actor. than
Yeah.
Michael
So I feel like him just, I could just tell him like, hey, I want you. This is the scene without no script. Do this, and he can like freestyle, and it'll be 10 times better than what
more
Jordan
acting.
did.
Like, more
I
Jordan,
think-
his acting was terrible.
Yeah.
He's just.
I think
Jordan.
that-
He's Jordan.
He's just Jordan.
And I think that it's
So
just
they could be
it's
a
the
better
age,
script.
it's honestly the age group. Like I can't stand to watch Space Jam right now. As a 30-year-old, I'm not watching that shit.
Space Jam, I like Mike.
I'm not watching neither one of
That's
them.
what I'm saying.
Those are for the
It's
kids.
nostalgia.
That's what I'm saying.
I think this show is gonna be. I hope it might be themed more for both.
Yeah.
But like
But
I said, I would rather. When I first heard the idea about coming to America too, I was like, man, why you touching it? When I see the previews and everybody is back, I'm like,
it'd be funny, man.
I give it hope. Man. I think
Eddie Murphy was doing the characters like that
gonna
barbershop
talk-
scene. You gonna laugh,
We're gonna
man.
talk about this next week.
All the pop culture references they gonna make on there. I think it's gonna be pockets of where it's funny. Justin, don't.
We'll see.
Hey.
Next Wednesday, y'all hear our real reaction to the movie.
All right. So Mississippi and Texas is 100% open.
Take the mask off.
Everything. They
Mask
took the
off.
mandate
Fuck it, mask
down. Basically, you can go to the Houston Rocket game, the Dallas Maverick game, like they can sell that motherfucker 100%.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Sports
Yes.
is open.
Everything.
The governor said
no
everything.
restrictions.
I see what he said, but I didn't really.
Yes.
grasp
Like
it.
tonight, the Nets play Houston.
Yes.
I seen Stephen A. saying like, well, being that the whole fucking crowd is gonna be there, I expect James Harden to get booed. So my thing is like, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that the people are gonna be responsible enough to still wear their mask? Or this is Texas.
We'll see.
This is Deep South.
17% of people will have on masks. The rest won't.
My question is there no social distancing?
No.
No. Everything is open. No, I mean, I don't know what they probably,
He said in the statement though,
he basically said
there's no
everything.
restrictions,
Nothing.
but he said something like
Even though
where-
the governor said it's 100% capacity, the stadium can still say
Yeah.
they're gonna stick to the
Okay.
yeah, people can still stick
So it's up to the
to
Wait, so here we go. Wait.
Issuing a new
Let me
executive
start it over.
So today, I'm issuing a new executive order that rescinds most of the earlier executive orders. Effective next Wednesday, all businesses of any type are allowed to open 100%.
They clapping in Texas.
That includes any type of entity in Texas. Also, I am ending the statewide mask mandate. So today,
And they clapping too. They
So,
clapping.
if I heard it right, he said they're allowed to, but I'm assuming if you are a private company,
Yeah,
you don't have to.
No, you don't have to.
And I think the NBA is still
The NBA ain't gonna
implement
let- yeah.
some form of social distancing.
I think they might let more people in, but
100%, but it's not going to, I don't think it's going to be full capacity. Everybody's selling, everybody spilling drinks, and
Adam
just,
Silver gonna be. Adam
that doesn't
Silver
really
not
make
letting
sense
that
to me.
happen. Mark Cuban wouldn't let that happen. Adam Silver not letting it happen. But
You
you might see
slowly.
about 10,000 more fans in that motherfucker.
Yeah, but Texas is going to be lit. Shit.
Texas, hey, listen.
Damn, that was one of my spots I was about to go to.
They got hit with that storm. They need that money.
Hey, you gotta. Hey, so do y'all think that storm, the whole thing of the storm, was 100% real? You think the government has something to do with it? I'm just asking. It was all.
I got family in Texas, and like it was real.
I'm just saying, niggas trying to tell me the snow would melt when you put it on the
That's
stove.
because you can't burn it like that. Like scientifically, you
trying to say it was
first of all, people
foul play.
He's saying like they hit the weather machine or some shit.
Like mix it in there with it.
No, like you can't.
I'm just asking. I know people that was there.
If you put ice like over a stove, it's gonna burn it. It's gonna turn black. That doesn't mean it's just gonna melt. Like it was scientific.
But y'all think that there's government can affect weather?
True, yes.
I do.
There's certain shit they can do. You don't know.
They can make it rain. They already showed that.
They
can make clouds.
They can make clouds.
I think
they can make it.
I think it's a certain percentage.
But to make it ice and like to make it like cold enough to freeze, I don't think they can do that yet.
The only thing I would say is that people track, like that's the whole thing about tracking weather and shit. So it's like so many people have to be in on it because it's kind of like you can track weather to a certain degree. So if you're in Montana and you're watching the news, they have like the clouds and shit, and then all of a sudden these clouds come out of nowhere from Texas. Like, where'd that come from? Everybody would be like, that's a weird anomaly.
I think that's something.
Which it was.
It's something I think
that's something you can do for like a certain area.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something you
I
can
don't think people
do.
realize.
Like Texas
happens every year. Like last year around this time, I don't know if y'all remember, but the same time around last year, it snowed in Georgia. Like 2 days.
What I'm saying is though, like they track shit like that. Even like they can prepare. Okay, in a couple of days we're gonna have a crazy storm. It don't just come out of like the day before. That's what I'm trying to say. But
I mean,
the whole Texas thing. I know that shit was.
I agree with your theory though. Like it'll have to be a lot of organizations, a lot of news stations, weathermen,
track all that kind of shit.
Yeah,
it's just be hard for it to be one entity. It can't be like the Texas government saying, "Make it rain." And they come out of nowhere like, nah. People will be like, "Wait, something's some foul play."
Make it.
But all these conspiracy theories, like you don't think niggas are already on that shit, so you got to. It just. It would have to be a higher government than doing that.
Rain. Shout out to Travis Porter. I just seen him on.
Y'all
niggas gonna like the interviews. Y'all watch that? Yeah, y'all watch that one. And Young LA, he was on there too. Anyway, that we getting sidetracked. So Sweetie.
Oh shit.
She been trending because Sweetie, like I guess she considers herself a foodie, but she's been putting together weird combinations the last couple months. Like I seen her do something like some ramen noodles, hot Cheeto, and slices of cheese or some shit. And just recently she made some spaghetti and put like a half a bottle of ranch in the spaghetti and ate it or whatever. Like, and she's been catching the jokes. They've been saying, like, her stomach's made out of vibranium. They've been talking probably about how bad her farts smell, shit like that. So, I guess my question I'm about to ask y'all. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate Sweetie?
She's up there.
Scale of 1 to 10.
No disrespect. 8, 9, 10.
This nigga said 3 numbers. Okay.
She's from an 8 to a 10.
She's a dime. 8 is tough, bro. Like 8. Sweetie and an 8 don't even make sense.
8, I'm thinking about the farts.
Sweetie is a 10. So let's say, okay, so we can agree that Sweetie's a dime. Yeah. Right? Shout out to Quay. So, Sweetie's a dime. Is Sweetie fine enough for you to ignore the fact? Let's say that she had them Titanic ass farts, like. Them shits was crazy. She eat shit like that. That shit turn your stomach. Like the shit she eat, like you look at it and you want to throw up, right? It make her fart something vicious in the bed. Is she fine enough? Is she fine enough? Is it possible for a girl to be fine enough for y'all to ignore that?
Y'all want me to answer this first? Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. It ain't even. For me to ignore that. You have to be the freakiest of the freakiest of the freakiest girl that I've met.
A look too freaky.
A look.
Is that pussy fine or is that ass fine?
You know, tell me what you done. Don't take a pill or something. I gotta make sure that shit done. But a look, nah, it's gonna take more than a look. Cause I mean, That's a different conversation. But I mean, the dimes really ain't the freaks. So yeah, you got to come more than that just to look.
Let's say that she fulfill you sexually.
I agree with Brandon. If it's just how she looks and nothing else come with it, she like a stick in bed farting, then nah. if her look match her freakness, not the fart shit. Like
I'm gonna say this. Let's say this. Everything about her you love. Her personality good. She's good. Wait. So
come on, baby.
It's just everything's perfect except she can't cook. And she put together terrible shit.
Baby, that's the guy gonna work in the office. So I gotta wear this mask when I'm at home.
I'm gonna follow with you, baby. I'm with you.
She don't like that though.
What? Nah, that ain't be a problem. Yo, you kept on stanky motherfucking.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. We in the mask era. I'm gonna have a mask on at 24/7 because I don't want to expose her to some shit, and I'm gonna have to deal with it.
I know that boy Quay be going through it. If she really eat like that.
But they always say you'll never see them together.
Shit, you probably social distance.
I know. I said I'm joking.
Who said that?
No, that shit is crazy.
Hey, bro, but did y'all ever think about it though? Maybe she just smoke a lot of weed, or she just always high. And when you high, you make food compilations like that.
I don't believe she eat like that.
I don't think she eats that.
I think she used to.
I think she does.
Probably as a teenager or some shit.
It's just troll shit and like advertisement shit, Doritos.
People reacted to it and then she just took it around. She take a bite of it.
She just take a bite.
Turn the camera off, spit it out.
Eat the whole shit.
You know what I'm saying? She probably did eat some shit like that as a teenager.
Cause I seen girls eat like shit. Like
she eating jail meals. Like you don't have to eat like this. Like did you do time or some shit? So
I mean the noodles with the hot Cheetos and the cheese kind of sound good. So. If I was high,
I've only seen the noodles with hot Cheetos, but the cheese, fucking.
You put sliced
cheese is definitely
disgusting. That's what I'm throwing up.
The cheese, it was sliced cheese?
Yeah.
I thought it was like nacho type cheese. That makes a difference.
Even that, I just don't know.
That's jail shit.
The nacho cheese.
The nacho cheese with the chips is definitely some jail shit.
That sound like that shit. You
gotta go to jail.
You might serve me a plate of that.
I got
sliced cheese.
Let's go for a couple days, bro. You like that
Nah, I'm good.
That's what y'all the line.
So Money Man, so we talking about food and shit. Money Man was real active today on Twitter, and I enjoyed like with the fans. And we just talking about how he vegan and whatnot, and somehow it led to it's a conversation I think I've even asked on here before. Girls were saying that basically a girl was talking about getting her body done, and he said women get their body done for attention from men. They were saying that's cap. It was a back and forth. What's y'all stance? Do you think that women, I'll say this, do you think women get their body done for attention of men? That's one. And do you think that they post like suggestive type, sexy pictures on the internet for attention of men? Or just, I'll just say men. Right now.
The first answer is yes. As far as they do it for men.
Yeah, they get their body done for men.
Men. They get their body done for men.
Okay.
But men and women. I think they do it for men and social media. Because when you go to your second question about the posting, they don't care who liked that picture, who comment. They're doing it for whoever's going to give them attention to give them attention. Most of I'm talking, and I'm not talking about somebody that's like, oh, I had kids, I got breast implants, and they just take a regular picture. You can tell. I'm talking about the ones that's like glorifying it and being extra with it. I feel like they're doing it more so for everybody.
So what I'm saying is, though, we're not limited to one type of crowd. We're talking about women in general.
Right.
So
the whole posting part?
I guess what I'm trying to say. Because you got something to say.
It does have to be one or nothing, all or nothing.
No.
So then no, it's not all. I don't think every single woman does that.
Okay.
Because
I didn't hear the all part.
I wasn't necessarily saying. What I'm saying is,
even if you take away the all in general, yeah. But it may not be directly because of men. I think women pressure other women to look a certain way too. So.
That's true.
If you see another woman that's beautiful and you want to look like her, you might not even outside of men. I want to look like that person. then she gets the attention of the man. It's not the man that's doing this, it's the girl. She's influenced by other girl, or her mom might be, oh, you know, you gotta look, there's a certain standards. You gotta be married, you have to have a baby, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to look attractive. That's what beauty is. Outside of a man, that could be a second part of the question. It could be like, if you're beautiful, you get a man. But before that, you wake up, you look in the mirror yourself, you don't think you're beautiful. And you're not thinking, oh, a man don't think I'm beautiful, I don't think I'm beautiful. But the posting shit, that's for attention.
That's for attention.
That's for attention, bro. Like, that's for attention. You want it. I guarantee you take away all the likes for somebody, like a celebrity.
You see, Instagram took likes away for certain people yesterday, and people was freaking out.
But like, let's say it was a social experiment. Like everybody was in on one person, like one celebrity. Like if Sweetie posted a thirst
let's not like any.
Nobody like it. What do you think?
My whole PR team would go crazy.
Like,
and she would go crazy.
She would go crazy. Like, what the fuck? Like nobody? Like what?
She had 2 likes. She'd be like, what the fuck? Is Instagram glitching?
Or some shit. Like it would be a big deal. So
I think the one part we're not touching on, I agree. Okay, so like the first level, it could be that you are technically doing it for yourself. Like if you're a big girl and you've never had that confidence to yourself, I can see why you want to get work done, right? So I guess in your first, let's say your first tier, it will be for you. Your second tier would probably be maybe the approval of your friends or approval of other women or approval of a nigga. So I think it can be indirectly. At the end of the day, if you want to say it can come down to a nigga, it is going to come down to niggas. Because like if you a girl, you get your body done, cool. Right? You a big girl, you get your body done. What's next? Your confidence, you wanna look good, you gonna post your shit on the gram. You probably when you're getting this surgery, does it not run past your mind that like I'm gonna be more attracted to men?
Yeah, I agree. I said the same thing.
Because if you was a big girl, let me ask you this: if you was a big girl, but you was a big girl and you still got hell of attention from men, you might not consider getting. And that's not nothing against my big girls. It could be whatever it might be done. I say work done. You might not like your nose. You might not even be a big girl. You might not like your nose. You might not like whatever's going on with you.
I just think it could be pressure for, like in the workplace. You might work with majority women, and every time you feel uncomfortable, every time they see you do it, and it's just
like girls from Hooters. Like I knew girls that worked at Hooters. I had an ex-girlfriend that worked at Hooters.
On 10th Street?
No, you talking about West Peachtree? You missed the joke.
Yeah,
but
great shit.
but basically, she I felt like she wanted to get her breasts done when she worked at Hooters because she didn't have a big chest, and all the girls at Hooters, Hooters promotes big chests, not really ass, just big chests.
So is that for men or just the?
It could be insecure around them, but at the end of the day, it's Hooters. What's your audience?
And if that's your job and you trying to get more tips.
Yeah,
Hooters?
I get that.
Over the years,
I get that, but what I'm saying is, initially you just want to be like. I'm trying to say there's times where indirectly it might not even be for men. It might be just for self-confidence, and then
that's what I'm saying. That's why I said like your first tier might be, this is your reasoning. But subconsciously, you can make an argument that it does come down to, like, I guess whatever you're attracted to. So
can we
whatever you're
mark this down?
You said what?
Remember to mark this question down next time we have a female guest.
Just
to get an opinion. Because I feel like us talking about it, we're giving it just from Mel.
That's a fact.
That was Moneybags. That's it. I guess that was his point of view. Let's see. I got one more for you. You can get into your all-star thing. So I was on Twitter, and there's a Ryland podcast. I Am an Athlete, and basically they were trending the last couple of days because they had an episode.
These are ex-football players.
Yes, it's a podcast of ex-football players. And basically they were talking about mental health. And they were discussing mental health, and they were discussing, about men and not being vulnerable, speaking amongst each other, especially being a football player where you're taught to be, a gladiator, to be tough, to be the tough guy. And, and in life in general, just what men are shaped to be. And they had a discussion. And, at one point they were asking, Ocho Cinco broke down, and Chad Johnson, and he was just saying about how his mom died and just talking about, what he went through, 2 weeks prior to shooting that episode. And then they asked the question, which the clip went viral, where they were basically saying, like, why don't we have these discussions? Why we don't have these discussions as men? But, so that went viral. When I watched the episode, the conversation was kind of more than just that. It was directly kind of more related to football, being a football player. So, when I was on Twitter, and the clips were going viral, I seen a lot of women getting on there saying like, straight men, oh Lord, they're like, straight men put all of their baggage on women, and that's why they don't be vulnerable with their men. It was real aggressive, like the way that they spoke on them. My question would be, I guess, to y'all, and this is another one which would be great for another woman to be here, but we don't have one here right now. I would ask, on Twitter, I guess I would say on social media a lot of the times, it's a gender thing. Do women like to make most things about them? I guess I would say a lot of the times, because I get online a lot, and it seems like I'm looking at it like this. I guess I'll just state my opinion to ask this question. When I'm looking at the conversation, I'm watching 4 men be vulnerable, right? I think everybody knows that men probably don't speak up as much as they should. Probably how they were raised, whatever it may be. So when I'm watching them be vulnerable, I feel like it kind of ruins the conversation when a woman comments and says something like, basically says like, y'all aren't, y'all always just throw all your baggage on the woman, blah, 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 blah. I can't really say verbatim what a lot of women say, but basically it came off more aggressive. It didn't seem informative.
It's counterproductive. It's like they're doing what you say you want them to do, and you criticize them anyway.
Yeah.
Because like you got, no, we're not criticizing. I'm saying they should do more, but you're still criticizing.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you celebrate that?
Yeah.
That should be a time to celebrate it. Like, wow, amazing, I love that. Instead of finding the negative connotation, you find a way to blame men.
Especially straight men. Like, that's a lot of the conversation.
And as soon as you tell them something that they not doing, the conversation is different.
Well, they were saying that like it was I guess they were saying like it was because men lack accountability. That's what they were trying to say. Like, the reason they was getting on the situation is because men don't hold themselves accountable.
What do they gotta be accountable?
Women lack accountability. The fuck?
I'm just saying.
They lack accountability way more.
I went down the whole thread.
And I'm not talking about any woman in particular, but as a whole.
Women lack accountability.
Exactly.
Man.
Like I said, they talking about a football, like, I don't know their football team or they shit. When I played football, I may have had 1 or 2 players that were my friends outside of football, outside of, hey, we gonna work out, we doing this, but nigga, I might see you at your crib, like, and we hanging out. And I have certain male friends that I would sit right here and have one-on-one conversations. I'm not about to be, oh, nigga, me, you, Kazadi, Chris, and everybody else in the room, and I'm about to goddamn be that vulnerable. But niggas are more so vulnerable one-on-one. Like, you gotta have those certain people that you're vulnerable with as a man. And like I said,
girls, women are so, in general, so quick to get cool with older people and spread their thing, and they fall in, fall out. Nobody talk about that. Why men stick with their friends closer than girls do. They'll fall in and fall out.
Vulnerable at all with you. You done?
No, you.
But what I'm saying is, if I'm not vulnerable at all with my woman, then that's a problem too, as well, right? I think sometimes you gotta understand that certain people have that people have certain people that they confide in. You know what I'm saying? So like, you might confide in your woman, you might confide in a certain guy. And it might be certain ways that you confide in people, but I just think for them to say like, I do agree
It's the
with
stupidest shit I've ever heard.
I agree with women when women say like sometimes that like they get the short end of the stick in certain situations. But I think that like
I don't think
sometimes on Twitter the narrative goes a little too far.
Bruh.
Like you could watch something and men are having a discussion and I'll get on Twitter or social media in general and a woman will find a way to
about them.
to counter.
Bruh,
And I'm not saying men don't do it either.
It's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
They're criticizing the fact that, wow, all you put your baggage on me, like you're not my partner, you're not my life partner. So now, if I talk to my homeboys and put on baggage,
Why
I
you
tell
don't
them
talk to me?
Why you don't talk to me? This is a lose-lose regardless. I'm telling you. That's it. There's no winner.
Yeah.
There's no winner losing with that.
I think
They're
on
criticizing for you to not. The nigga that put the. That's the stupid shit.
I wish we could just get on Twitter and it could be better. I wish we could be on social media and it would be better dialect in general. I feel like when you, especially on Twitter, everything turns into a gender war. It's always, oh, men versus women. And I think that's people's natural reaction. Because a lot of the times I get criticized on this podcast for when I do represent women, right? Now, let's say
it's
that.
more so jokes.
Now I mean, people say jokes, but they really feel that way. They really feel that way. They really feel that way. When I consider
The opposite.
when I consider other like me, I kind of consider myself somebody who doesn't. I try to look at shit from an unbiased standpoint. So I get a lot of men that watch the show. They tell me like, nigga, you tripping, la da da da. But then they can't really give me a reason as to how I'm tripping. They just be like, you supposed to be on my side. You supposed to be on the men's side. And that reflects to social media. I think a lot of the times that people just in generally want to be like, feel like men are supposed to be on the same side, women are supposed to be on the same side, instead of holding an unbiased point. And I think that's the issue. And I feel like what the episode, because of the clip, got drowned and thrown under the rug because people didn't
Made it a gender war.
actually, they made it a gender war. People want to argue, they want to debate. So
Everything ain't a debate, man.
I don't know, man.
Alright. Y'all ready for the All-Star weekend, man? All-Star weekend. Y'all ready for this shit, man? It's Atlanta. It's gonna be lit. Where we going? Where we at? Where we at, niggas?
I'll be in the house.
Oh, word.
If I do move around, I'm not going to probably not going to no club.
You ain't going to the
I
city?
can't afford it. I might go
Day
to the
parties
city.
on the lit.
I got a couple cousins coming in
We in
town,
the
so
club.
I
We
might
going out,
pull up
bro.
on some cousins, say what's up. But
We
other
stepping
than
out,
that,
bro. We got
First
to.
off, nigga,
You ain't going nowhere.
I ain't going to goddamn place.
that cap ain't man.
Nigga, I got a pregnant
That's
right
big
there
cap.
home. I ain't fucking around with COVID.
I might come, like I said, I might go to the city, say what's up to my people. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's about it.
Y'all expect it to be like, damn, I wish in a certain circumstance I would love to be in the midst of it, or y'all think it's
even
like,
on the regular, if it was regular All-Star weekend, I know I can't afford that shit. I gotta be real with myself, bro.
So you
Think about how much, like, I'm looking at the club. They posted up a lineup. Shout out to Vaughn. He posted up a lineup. The clubs are going crazy. It's clubs opening. It's clubs that
He goes to club tomorrow.
They got Onyx opening back up. Like, you know these shits is probably gonna be $100, $200 to get in. $100
The money ain't the problem. Cause if I say, hey, bro, we going and I got you, you gonna go.
I wouldn't even let you spend that type of money
You
just
know
to
how I
get
get.
the club.
Especially
You wish it was 10 years ago? And 10 years ago, you?
10 years ago.
10 years ago,
To be
you?
honest with you,
No.
10 years ago, listen,
Five.
I'm gonna tell you how this works.
Days ago.
I'm gonna tell you how I would've worked. I'm gonna tell you how I would've worked.
10 years ago.
I'm the type of nigga in the middle of that shit going on, I'm gonna still find the little hole in the wall spot that I can pay 20 to get in.
So
I'm still not gonna be
you
the
know they're
nigga
gonna be
paying.
taxing out their ass
Yeah.
to make some money.
I'm not gonna be the $100, $200 nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I got a kid on the way. I
10
ain't
years
got time for
ago,
that.
oh, I know enough people. We would have gotten that motherfucker. We might have got there a little early, but we would have gotten that bitch still for $20.
Y'all remember last All-Star weekend was in Atlanta?
Yeah, I was.
What year was
I
that?
was in
Last
elementary,
year?
middle school.
I want to hear
I think it was 03.
I was
It was
there.
like 03.
03.
I was at the All Star like event, like in actual Phillips Arena. I went to the actual events. All that, the kids can go there and shoot. I met Run DMC.
Shit, that's our
Let me
free
tell you how old this was. Field Mob was out.
Field Mob.
I met Field Mob.
All I remember is all my coaches went down there and motherfuckers said practice canceled.
Y'all niggas go home. We go to Atlanta. But as far as the actual All-Star game, how excited are y'all to watch that? Kevin Durant not playing, but they still doing the draft. How excited are y'all about the game itself?
As far as the game, I mean, the game is always cool. And plus me, I always had a job where I work like mad early, so I don't really ever really watch the All-Star game unless I'm watching it the next day. But I mean, the All-Star game last year was very good.
Yeah.
It was very good. So I give them the same interest because last year was good. So my interest is kind of up. I'm not interested really in the dunk contest. I don't even know. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know who those niggas are.
I don't know who they announced. Brandon, you interested?
It's 3 niggas and it's during halftime.
in the game this year?
2-on-2 with Quavo.
Who is
The
playing?
3-point contest is probably in the skills competition. Probably what I'm gonna watch.
You interested in the game this year?
I haven't been interested in the game since Kobe played his last one. Just
So-
to be honest, that's the last one I really watched.
So part of the festivities they're doing, he says Quavo and Jack Harlow versus 2 Chainz Lil Baby.
So like that's the only.
Now
thing.
that I would watch. I'm here for that.
I'm not interested.
Who
I
win?
mean, I'm gonna watch it just cause to
Who
watch
win
it.
it?
Who winning?
You said Quavo and who?
Jack Harlow. White boy that said was popping.
Is Lil Baby good?
I never seen him hoop. I seen 3 of them hoop.
Wait,
Jack Harlow, I seen him hoop
Six
before.
Chainz, 2 Chainz like 6'5", ain't
Yeah, and he used to play in high school. in
he? I
college.
know.
But he's
used
older.
to was a long time.
And he's older, and like I said,
You seen NBA
Quavo
players.
would be putting them open runs over there at Berkmar.
You seen NBA
And I seen
players.
the highlights of 2 Chainz, and he looked a little OG out there.
Bro, you seen NBA players retire a year or 2 later. They do.
But I also think Quavo do good marketing to himself when it comes to basketball. Like Quavo is good, but niggas be acting like Quavo is goddamn.
guard that left. Shout out
Yeah.
to you about the park.
So
Anyway.
I don't know who's gonna win, but I don't think the game will really be that good. I'm just being honest. I don't like. It's cool if you're at the park and those 4 playing, but I think for it to be nationally
TV,
televised,
it might not
I
be
don't think it's gonna be
That shit gonna
good.
be a quick game of 5 or something like that. I don't think it's gonna be
I just don't think it's gonna be good. Like I think it's gonna be like literally they're out of shape. They probably smoke.
So it's gonna look
They
like-
drink a lot.
it's gonna look like
they not in
New
shape. That worst game here.
Nobody cares about the dunk contest anymore, so
Who's
nostalgia.
in it?
I don't know.
It's like 3 players, bro.
I know who declined.
Zion.
I know Zion.
Zion declined. Anthony Edwards declined.
Why the fuck y'all? They gonna be in there?
Niggas say ain't gonna be no fans. I ain't gonna do this shit with no holes in the crowd. But
For real, these niggas trying to be. First of all, these some young niggas. Well, Zion's an
These
all
niggas trying
star.
to be in the club.
Nah, Anthony Edwards, he should be in it. He's from Atlanta for one.
and I
2,
think he
his
had
team
one. Yeah,
has
he's done.
no fucking potential to get to the playoffs. Like they
Build your-
suck.
Build your market.
Yeah,
It's
build
the
your
base-
brand up.
it's the
That-
brand. It's the
That
brand.
would be a great opportunity for him. I don't understand why he's not doing it. Because then if you win, you don't have to do it ever again. Well, you don't have to do it ever again
Yeah,
regardless.
but-
But it's
If you
made
win
for
one,
you.
Nobody's ever gonna.
It's
criticize
made
it.
for you. You from the city of Atlanta. You could be. Yeah, he dropped the ball on that one. I ain't gonna cap.
But what do y'all think? This is my last question on it. Is the greatest slam dunk contest ever?
Oh, Zach LaVine and
Over Vince Carter?
listen, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Wait, let him go. Cause I think you're gonna say the same shit. I almost promise you're gonna say the same shit.
Give me the drink.
Let him go. What, is Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon better than Vince Carter?
No.
Why not?
And I guess you gotta put time in perspective. At that time, nobody had did that. So you gotta look at it at that day. Those dunks at that time was amazing. Regardless of what they're doing now or that Zach LaVine, like, the dunks that they did, yeah, them shits was great for the time, but they wasn't as amazing.
That's cap.
As
That's cap.
as it
That's
seemed.
big boy
No,
cap.
no. Let me finish. At the time when I watched Vince Carter did what he did, that shit was amazing. If I watch it today, it's not as amazing. I'm thinking about like what I thought when I saw it at that moment.
Nostalgia.
So
Like at that moment.
So let me say this before let me rip into this argument.
Hold on. Let me finish.
I'm about to tear this argument up.
But if I watch the two today, just from today's time,
So
it doesn't look as great. Vince Carter's doesn't look as great.
So you're
that's the
admitting
point.
that
That's the point.
2016 dunks are literally they're more impressive.
Every
As
dunk.
far as just like if you never seen them before, take away impact. If you just look at them, the dunks are more impressive.
They're more impressive, but
Okay.
it doesn't like
Listen,
it doesn't hit the same.
They try to. You watch ESPN. They try to sell you. Oh, MJ versus Dominique. They try to say that. Listen, now I understand. Now, do I think that Vince Carter just the fact that they could have more people in the dunk contest? Then they had Stevie Franchise. They had Tracy McGrady.
Was BD in there?
He might have been. They had a lot of people in that dunk contest, and it's forever appreciated. The nostalgia of it is what always makes it great. But at the end of the day, when you go on YouTube right now, present day, and you watch those dunks are not as great present day as they were then. He did a bounce through the leg. He did through the legs off a bounce. He stuck his arm in the rim, which probably 90% of NBA players can do at this point, at least 80%. He did
He jumped
like a
not from
reverse
the free throw line.
windmill. He did a 360 windmill.
He jumped from like
Yeah.
2 feet in the free throw
He
line.
did a 2 or 3 in the free throw line.
And dunked it.
Now mind you, so he did that. Zach LaVine went through the legs from the free throw line. He did a windmill from the free throw line. He did around the back dunk. You had Aaron Gordon who fucking caught one off a spinning nigga on a hoverboard. Was that one?
Yeah.
And he literally,
Dougie on that shit.
come on man, I ain't
He
never
was
seen-
underneath, bro.
He jumped over a fucking.
I was the biggest Vince Carter. That's the greatest thing. That's nothing can take it.
Yes.
Everything changed when I just compared the dunks.
Yes.
I just looked at him like,
Yes.
ew. Like I was like,
Listen,
ugh.
put it like this,
It's
bro.
the time,
Bro,
it's
put it like this.
But then
We're not talking about the times though.
bro, and then the actual competition. Vince Carter destroyed them. Now you got Aaron Gordon going to triple overtime,
Yeah.
going back and forth. The competition was way
They're
better.
freestyling. This
Free-
is-
that was the greatest shit
You
ever.
can't
dog.
judge 1 year based off another. You got
Yes, you
how
can.
it felt then.
No, yes, you
versus
can.
how you felt.
You
right
can say that you've never seen any of those dunks.
At that time, I hadn't seen nobody do what Vince Carter had.
I
done.
agree. That's why
At that time,
Yes,
It's not
we
fucking
said
with
it's a
that.
great one. But
It's
when
not
you
fucking
watch,
with
but
that.
when you look at the dunks that Vince Carter did,
it takes away from
ask
that, bro.
yourself how many players in the league can do that.
now that's different. It's two
So,
different times.
so
I'm
basically,
saying, like,
you one of them
at
old niggas. You one of them old niggas who's holding on to the old shit. Brandon,
I'm
it
judging,
might-
I'm
listen,
judging
listen.
at that moment.
Brandon,
What was going on
Brandon,
in this
put it
moment?
like this.
In
Put it
time?
like this. Put it like this. What's the Dallas? Troy Aikman. He was like really good back in the day, right? When you look at that shit now, you're like, man, this nigga threw for 3,500 yards. He threw for 3,000 yards.
I'll take Troy Aikman over that.
Dak is can throw you for 5,000.
Can't win shit.
But why you go to
The
that?
greatest offensive line ever, bro.
Why don't you?
Got the greatest offensive line ever. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's different. Like times change. The people gotta, and that's why I'm being on Shaq ass. Cause Shaq's been trending. Let's go to that. You seen Candace Parker tearing his ass up. Shaq has been. She's trying to explain to him the pick and roll. He's saying what he's basically.
You play basketball?
First of all, Shaq don't play no pick and roll. All his ass did was stand back.
That's what D Wade took a shot at him.
Yeah, he's
like,
trying
bro,
to-
you never stepped up. You stayed your ass there.
Yeah, so what we're trying to say is, if you don't, if that, we get it, those, but we're trying to say times are different. It's okay to say, yo, this one's better than this. I get it. Vince Carter, from that point on, probably until that dunk contest, have the, and we can make an argument. That's what I'm saying. We can make an argument.
You start looking.
We can make an argument.
But
my
to your
argument,
point,
I'm not saying that
the
their
actual
dunks are
dunk,
better.
You're talking about the moment.
I'm just talking about the moment.
And I can't argue.
That's all I'm saying is the moment. Like,
But what
you're
is
watching
that?
it at that time.
But when you look at what and fuck the moment, we're not arguing the moment.
High. So when you
We're arguing what's the better
Vince
dunk.
Carter set the bar.
Yes.
They set the bar here, but the
Yes.
bar Vince Carter had the higher.
So basically, the bars is gonna keep setting
If
every
you-
year.
But-
Because they run out, they can
Nigga, that's
make new
sports in
ideas.
general. That's sports in general.
But
That's the only reason why I'm judging it by the moment.
I thought and without thinking, I thought Vince Carter had better dunks. I was just saying that.
Vince
Oh, no,
Carter
I'm not saying
And
that.
I just compared
That's not what I'm saying.
I compared it and I was like, yeah, that's Reggie.
The dunks,
Vince
the
Carter
dunks
got
he did
Reggie
then
dunks right now.
was goddamn top tier. The dunks
That's
he
a
did
fact.
then now is not.
That's like now.
So like I'm saying,
it's like this. Allen Iverson. He's the first person we've seen with that kind of crossover, right? Now every player in the league can do that shit. Every guard in the league can do that shit. So am I gonna still sit here and say that Allen Iverson got the best handle ever? No. If I see Kyrie Irving with the ball in his hand, it might not be the same nostalgia as Allen Iverson.
Now you scared me because I was about to say it's closer than I think, but I don't want to look at these highlights no more.
Bro, go
I don't
look
want
it
to
up.
look at it because you're not finna ruin my childhood.
Oh, your child is ruined.
You're not finna ruin
Your
my
child is ruined. Your child is ruined.
If you don't-
Kyrie Irving is.
I didn't see Iris. No, I can
Allen
say
Iverson
Kyrie
is
better.
more of a dribbler, like a Steph Curry, like a loose dribbler, a loose crossover dribbler. Kyrie Irving is the first person that like mixed like a legal crossover with the street. I've never seen anything with him like that.
But Jamal Crawford got that.
Yeah, but he's a little taller. It's a little loose. I think it just looks better on Kyrie when you're smaller and you have a shorter distance to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Durant has one of the best handles I've ever seen a 7-footer have, but it don't look the same as Kyrie. You know, Jamal Crawford's like 6'3", 6'4", 5", whatever he is.
I think you got that.
And he got, don't get me wrong, I'm not
He
disrespecting.
up there,
He's nasty with it.
but yeah.
But yeah, all I'm saying is go
The
look it up.
nostalgia, man. I don't know. You ain't finna ruin.
Y'all go look it up.
You ain't finna ruin.
They don't want to see it. They don't want the truth.
They already did Vince Carter.
Yeah.
But,
So
you know, what's the scenario,
here we
man?
go, yo. Here we go, yo. Say what? Say what? What's the scenario? All right, man. We gonna do shorter answers on these. We got a lot to get through with these questions. Kunstecke and his ex-fiance have called it quits after last week she came out and said that she wanted to have more sexual experiences, right?
Yeah.
Stiggy asked her for his ring back. Remember he stole her ring?
Dom
He didn't know if it was real or not. I guess they got to check it was real or whatever. So, you know, he asked for the ring back. She says no. Stiggy feels like she's being petty. And she feels like it's no purpose to give a ring back that was hot from the jump. Who do you side with?
Bitch, it don't matter if I gave you that ring. It was hot or goddamn. I paid cash money for it. That's my shit. I gave it to you. You want to go be a hoe? Give my motherfucking ring back.
What's your keyword you just said? You said it's. Let me tell y'all. This don't make. You just said it's my ring. I gave it to you.
I gave you the ring. It became my ring when it was in my possession.
But what I've learned is that that's a legal binding. That's a contract.
Yeah.
Like, if you aren't getting married, then you're actually required to give the ring back. And you keep it.
No. Unless it's on a significant day. Like if it's on a holiday or if it's like on an anniversary, if you can prove that it's on like an anniversary, legally you don't have to give it back.
Why?
Because they're saying it's a gift. I've heard, like, that's what I've legally heard. Like, say, like, you got married, you got engaged on your birthday.
The day before.
So,
But-
this is straight.
But so you're good. If Courtney ever said, oh, you get your shit back.
back.
But if you gave it on her birthday,
Like, I couldn't get mine back.
you couldn't get it back.
Because I gave it to her on her birthday.
Damn.
Yeah, no, well then you can't get it back.
Okay. But what about if it's stolen? that's the difference here. Where the
This
law
shit
comes
mine.
at.
No,
You don't got
he
your
was just
shit
saying.
stolen.
I'm sure he could probably be like, I lost my receipt. I ain't steal it.
Yeah,
All I'm saying
She
is
could
that,
say, it's not looking good for him.
but it's not because like the rings they got like I don't need my receipt to track my ring. They got shit where you can track it.
Well, I don't even.
I'm pretty sure you
know
probably
what
gotta
store
bring all
that shit
that.
came
I'll
from.
be honest with you. I'm pretty sure you gotta bring all that shit to court.
Yeah.
Like if you can't prove that you bought the shit, then you definitely show. Because all you gotta do is say, Judge, this is mine. I don't got the receipt, and he don't got the receipt.
See, how you gonna prove it?
Yeah.
Bring me my
You-
motherfucking ring back.
You can lie and say, hey, this was a family heirloom. I gave it to him to present it to me. Who's to say who's lying? So, yeah, man, sticky. You in a sticky situation.
I think they both being petty, but at the same time, Sticky, you didn't even.
petty.
No, he more petty, nigga.
How?
You didn't even buy it. What?
I still gave it to you. It don't matter.
You think he being more petty?
Because I feel like he. This is what I'm looking at.
Crazy.
Cousin Sticky trying to take
Hey,
the
he
ring.
do be on here for the women.
I'm being like this. Cousin Sticky trying to get the ring to flip it,
Yeah, what's up?
but you stole it,
It don't matter.
so you don't really have no use for it.
I gave you this ring. It don't matter where it came
What about
from.
her? What's her?
No, I think she's petty too.
Oh.
I think she's petty as shit. They're both wrong, but at the end of the day, if the ring never really had no rightful possession, I'm not me. If I'm Cousin Sticky, I'm not finna sit here and stress and beat myself to
Fuck
death.
that. Give me
So
my
they just
shit
fucked the
back.
ring. Yeah, you shouldn't
I
have.
never told her he stole it, bro.
I mean, he kind of got put out there. Remember, they did the diamond tester. So it's just like once you find out, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at it from that point. Like she knows that the ring is hot.
It does
Now,
not matter.
if she
I
didn't
gave
know-
you this ring.
If she did not know that the ring was hot, then it's definitely on her. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you just give him his ring
My thing is
back?
like when you break up, you supposed to take the ring off and be like,
Listen,
why you still got the ring on?
I agree with all that. I agree with all that. Like I said, I'm not saying that she's not wrong.
Now she gonna flip it to get some more dick.
Put it like this: if I'm sticky, you know, I'm sticky cousin. That's my cousin. I'm gonna tell him, I'm be like, cuz, you just take the L, bro.
Why?
That's what I would tell him.
Why?
You gonna sit here and argue with a bit about a stolen ring?
Hell yeah, that's my stolen ring. I stole that shit.
Listen, you're not gonna
She
win
might-
that. Let's be realistic. You gonna win that? You gonna win that? Like, what you gonna do to go get it back? You gonna go break in the house? You gonna like?
Might
Yeah,
cut a finger off. I don't know. How bad I want that shit back.
Brandon, you ain't doing none of that shit.
I said if I was sticky.
Sticky ain't violent. Sticky a thief. His name is Sticky.
kill.
Nigga.
I don't kill.
His name is Sticky, nigga. He don't beat people up.
What's the next question, man?
Alright, this is a long question. Dante has been in a relationship with Allison for 3 years. Allison is an aspiring singer, and Dante, for the most part, has always supported her. He knew when he got with her, realistically speaking, it was very hard for her to make it in the industry. Fast forward, this year Allison has broke through. The label supports her and feels like she's breaking into the mainstream. They have an interesting imaging idea from her PR team. They basically want her to fake a relationship on Instagram with another entertainer for clout, you know, so that includes, you know, they want her doing videos of them kissing, vacations, doing shows together, basically so they can come up together. Dante feels like this is the beginning of the end of their relationship. Allison likes the plan and feels like Dante should trust her, and she feels like he's not being supportive of the relationship. What do y'all think?
I think Allison's cap. I think that's cap. What do you mean trust you? It's not your plan. Well, you have nothing to do with that. You just a pawn in the label's plan. How do you know? What's there to trust?
They want you to be with money bag, yo.
Yeah, what's there to trust? Now, to me, that's why if I'm Dante, I'm like, yo, it is the beginning of the end because you're all you care about is trying to be famous and sing.
It's more important than
It's
your
more important than
relationship.
your relationship at this point. So that's why it's the beginning of the end. Now, if she said, how do you feel about that? Can we bear compromise, something like that? Then I'll be more inclined. But you're gung ho with it. That's all you care about. Sounds good. Let's just do it. Trust me. Let me trust you. It's not your plan. You ain't come up with this shit.
Yeah.
There's nothing to trust. Like if I'm not comfortable with it and that's all you care about, what's next?
I think my main
Pregnancy.
My main, yeah, I think my main thing would be, so basically you don't rely on your talent. You don't think you're talented enough, like as far as just your music. I would tell her, I'd be like, look, and this is no disrespect to these people, like Lizzo, people are constantly poking fun of her weight or whatever, right? But she still has platinum singles. She's still successful. It's a lot of artists. So basically, like, it's proven that you don't have to do that to make it. You're just looking at it as either out of desperation or just the easy way out to do it. So like basically, I would tell her like, so basically you don't believe in yourself to the point to where you feel like you would sacrifice your relationship to get you some money or mainstream to be successful.
I think that's clear.
Because I would never put it like this. Like, I would ask, I'd be like, so what if I was like, had a big important corporate interview and somebody told me like, oh, you need to fuck me to get in, and then after that you good, or I need to, you gotta do certain things. That,
or you
that
need,
go
you,
get
need,
your
you,
value.
need to be married to get this interview. It looks better. So get this fake girl to be your wife.
Yeah.
Don't use her. She doesn't look the part.
Facts. So
what's the difference?
Yeah, like
what's the difference?
Bring this girl to this
dinner meeting.
to this networking event as your girlfriend. Bro. She stays at home.
While that inspiring singer stays at home.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Trust me. Oh, don't sound so good now, huh?
Yeah, nah, that's cap.
Cap.
That's big old cap.
Y'all said it all, man. I ain't got shit else to say to that. Shit. Every point I was about to make, y'all said it.
I got two more songs. We got my essay brothers in this one.
Oh, that's my cousin.
Yeah. Felipe and Ricardo.
Felipe.
They are in the car, late night, they heading home. Felipe gets pulled over. And apparently he's getting harassed constantly by the police in his city. He tired of it, right?
Yeah.
So when they're doing the traffic stop, the police come up to the door. Felipe pulls off in the traffic. And it sparks off a high-speed chase. Ricardo wanted nothing to do with the police chase.
Jump out.
He even asked to be let out the car at one point. And Felipe said, hell nah. They hit a pole eventually and they get arrested. If you're Ricardo, what's your next move?
Censure.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with this. Yeah. Felipe did this stupid shit. He always be on that dumb shit. Let me out, Alright, bet.
Yeah.
I ain't no street nigga. What the fuck? I have no ties to that. Why? Like, it'd be one thing if it happened too fast, we didn't know, and we kind of did it. But the second that I say, yo, let me out. No, nigga, we ride or die. Alright.
What did you just say? I don't got time to stop.
You gonna have a lot of time to think about that decision. I promise you. You gonna have a lot of time to think about that decision.
I mean, from my point of view, though, honestly, I'm gonna say that shit to him, and then I'm gonna tuck and roll and jump out the car, or we in this bitch together. Like, it's like I'm not gonna snitch, but I'm just gonna sit in the car like, yo, I was riding with the nigga. He pulled off.
Nigga,
I couldn't get out.
It's not snitching what you just said. Technically.
No. Wait, what?
You said what?
Shit, either we gonna ride this shit out together, or I'm gonna have to stay in the car, nigga. Like,
but what did you say after that? You had just said something after that.
Like, shit, I was just in the car. I don't know what the fuck happened. I was like, yo, why are y'all chasing us?
Dry snitch?
I didn't know, like.
This nigga snitch and drive.
No, all I'm asking the cops, like, yo.
What happened, God?
Why was you chasing us? What happened?
Barry gonna look at the car.
I'm asking
questions. I had nothing to do with it.
Walked up. They seen you in the car. Let's say they even asked for your ID. You know what I'm saying? He pulls off. So, like, you're aware. They know you was aware.
I'm concussed.
First of all, I don't even know why you got any option other than telling them that you had nothing to do with this.
First off, honestly, it's not gonna get that far. I'm gonna take my chances of taking a couple.
I'm not tucking and rolling.
I'll take some road rash.
First of all, I'm not tucking and rolling.
If I feel like
speed chase.
I'm not getting pulled into the jail, and he's like, I snitch. Oh, I'm jumping out. What did he run for? Shit, I don't know. He started getting chased by the police.
I can tell you somebody who done tucked and roll on a car not driving that fast.
Yes.
It's not what you think it is.
Dumb. That is the dumbest idea.
It's not what the movies say. I seen somebody jump off a hood of a car less than
you said off the hood.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
It's not really.
It's probably better
to jump.
Oh, he's talking about that we seen when he got basically his story. He was on the hood of a car and the car just literally moved 15 feet.
And they
stopped and he flew.
You're higher than me jumping out of a car.
if you jump out of a car that's speeding faster in a high speed chase,
you're like basically, let's say he's high speed chase, right?
Brandon, why?
How fast the car going? And this is you. I'm asking this answer. This humor me. How fast the car going?
I mean, when I'm trying to jump out, I'm trying to catch him at that 25, 35.
25, 30.
Nigga, do you know how?
Wait, I got it.
I will
You're
take
gonna
that versus
roll
going to jail.
35 miles an hour on the road.
You're sitting
going
still in
to
the car while the car is moving.
Die.
Versus, I will take that risk versus having to go sit in
You're
the
gonna
goddamn shit.
skid 35 miles an hour
Brandon,
on
you
the
think?
concrete.
Let's be honest. Brandon, you jump out of a car.
I'm gonna show you a video.
Wait, time out. Brandon, you jump out of a car. You think that you're gonna be able to get up and run from the police?
I didn't say
going
run.
fast?
I didn't say run. I said, hey, I ain't had shit to do with this. That's why
You're not
I'm not doing that after the fact because
You're not gonna be talking.
Right.
You're gonna be on the floor bleeding to death.
even better. It's better than snitching.
Listen, man.
How's bring back do it?
I'm all
New
logic,
food.
but that shit makes absolutely no fucking
It
sense.
makes
Call me punk.
I'm not about to goddamn sit in the car. I'm gonna catch the same charges as you get. Nigga, if I jump up, be like, yo, I ain't had shit to do with that. Like, I don't know what the fuck going on.
Nigga, I'm saying you can still do that when they crack you. Like, yo, I didn't want to
They
jump
gonna
out.
ask, they gonna ask more questions. They gonna ask more questions.
So
if
the
you
cops expect you to jump out of the movie. I mean, it's pretty evident.
They
what
might
happened.
shoot the car.
Wait. Do you realize it's pretty evident what happened? It's pretty evident that this nigga took off, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty evident that you are a passenger.
Alright, bro, I get it.
So all you gotta say, listen, nigga, I didn't know that
You
was
think
going
it's
down
that
like
simple?
that. It's gonna be the same thing. Whether
This
you
nigga
jump
said-
out and concuss yourself
Alright.
and potentially die.
Cuss nigga, you gon'
I got one more. Let's get this last one. You got one following up this one, right? Tim and Kiki knew each other for 2 months.
snitch.
They hit it off instantly and they got married. They got married, right?
Yeah.
They elope in Vegas and then they start their honeymoon in Mexico, where Tim eventually gets a phone call on the honeymoon from his ex saying she's 11 weeks pregnant. Tim tells Kiki his feelings are still strong for his ex and that he also loves her, as well as he doesn't know what decision to make. Kiki says that their marriage is all a part of God's plan. Tim is at a fork in the road. What would you do if you were Tim?
Tim?
Yeah, I'm anxious to hear the shit you gotta say, cause you on the road to fuck shit today. Say what you got.
I'm speaking real shit, man.
That's a tough pickle, man. Tim, what do you do if you're Tim? How long we been married with Kiki?
Y'all just got married. Y'all on the honeymoon.
We got on a honeymoon.
So y'all been married for 3 days. Y'all together for 2 months. Basically, y'all hit it off and moved extremely fast. Y'all got eloped.
And I tell her I'm still in love with my ex.
You said you still have strong feelings. You said you're in love with her, but you got strong feelings for your ex. And now she's carrying your baby.
Shit, man. It sounds like we need to do some Utah Mormon shit. Like, that might be the best. I'm dead ass. I'm thinking about it. If I say I'm gonna,
That wasn't me agreeing.
I'm gonna have to deal with my child on the way, right?
Let's say she says she don't. Let's say she don't agree with that.
I'm gonna say, baby, that's God's plan. I'm gonna say, you ain't read the Old Testament. Nah, but it ain't gonna work because I'm gonna be involved with my baby mama. That's my kid. I'm gonna
It's
be
not
there.
even that. You say you still love your baby.
That's what I'm saying.
You
So
got
I'm
strong feelings.
I'm going to.
Yeah, if you
I'm
got
gonna
strong
deal
feelings
with
for
her.
your- If you got strong feelings for your baby mama, you knew her longer.
I'm gonna be dealing
You're
with her.
gonna fuck her.
That's why I'm gonna be fucking her.
You're gonna
So
fuck
now I'm married to you. I'm gonna love you. So you gonna have to. The choice is on you, Kiki.
If you
The choice is
marry
wanna
a
know
girl
this?
that you still are getting to know, right? You still getting to know this girl, but she's your wife. But it's because y'all rushed the situation.
That's my wife.
Now, as far as this, your ex, you know her. You skeeted in her. Y'all got a kid on the way. So now it's a whole different, maybe potentially a whole different bond.
Even if you don't love her, you married. You chose to marry this girl. Y'all are married.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is you keep it G with her, you tell her you still got feelings. What I'm saying is if you still got feelings for I'm like this, you could be married and still love her. What I'm saying is though, if you still got strong feelings for your baby mama and it's fresh that she's having your child, I'm gonna say let's say that I'm the wife's brother. I'm gonna be like, it's a high percentage that he's gonna fuck his baby mom, straight up. I'm just letting you know that.
So
it's high percentage.
I'm gonna be responsible then. My thing is, I'm gonna try some shit.
You ask what you ask.
I'm be like, how do you feel about
an annulment?
Nah, we still married, but that's my side thing. Hey, it's
I get it.
Like a big, like you know.
I get it. I mean, look,
sad, but
ain't nothing wrong with exploring all options.
I get it. That's the route I'm gonna go.
I would tell you as a friend, the percentages probably ain't too good for that, but at the same time, you never know. Shit, you just met her. She might be a freak.
Might be with it.
You know what I'm saying?
She may felt that God put us together for us
to work it out.
Yeah, so us working it out means us,
my son, my baby mama, and you.
But nah, realistically, go ahead, bro.
I already done said my part. You good?
I
mean, realistically, I'm gonna look at it like this, look.
What's his name? Kevin?
Tim
and Kiki?
Look here, Kiki.
Timothy Rutledge. That's the nigga whole name.
Oh.
Tim.
Look here, Kiki.
Fuck you, Tim.
I just got this call, got this baby on the way with this girl that I was just, in love with before I met you. But
that's how you gonna say it?
Yeah,
I was just in love with.
Alright, the girl I was just talking to that you already know everything
my
about.
ex.
My ex. The one that I told you everything that I was in love with her. And I mean, the ball in your court. You gonna stay, you gonna leave. We got a kid on the way. I didn't know. I just found out today. We're on our honeymoon. It's up to you. What you gonna do?
Ball on her court.
I hope.
So she said she's staying.
I hope you don't ask it in that manner.
The ball.
What do you do?
Be a little bit more precise.
What did you do? She said she's staying. I want you to raise your kid, but I don't want you to deal with her sexually.
Okay. Alright. We can work that out.
You gonna be married? You gonna stay married?
I never wanted to get a divorce. I just felt like I got a kid on my honeymoon.
So what I'm saying is though, you're conflicted though. You still have feelings, strong feelings for your ex. Like y'all have a deeper bond. You just met this girl 2 months ago.
And I'm sure once I go see her one time after my honeymoon, I'm gonna remember why I've been moving. And I'm gonna stick with my wife. We gonna work this shit out.
Alright, spice this it up. Same scenario. Tim and Kiki. Your same ex, same scenario. She's pregnant. She just don't call you. She don't tell you. You're on the honeymoon. A year go by. 2 years go by. 8 years later, you are in a happy marriage. Y'all are working out. Everything's good. You get an email.
I see you in court.
You get an email, right?
Mm-hmm.
From your ex. She says, hey, we need to talk. You're like, what about? It's something extremely important. I just need 5 minutes of your time to talk on the phone. You call her, she tell you, Tim, 8 years ago, I was pregnant. You left, you got married, so I didn't want to say anything. And I wasn't prepared to have a child, so I put him up for adoption.
God damn, this nigga came with a double dagger.
I put him up for adoption 8 years ago. What do you do? What do you do next?
I'm probably gonna cuss her out, to be honest, and ask her why the fuck you even tell me at this point. You waited 8 years, why you telling me?
She felt hurt. She felt that you left.
Okay.
How you handle that?
Okay, so.
Ain't shit I can do now.
Okay, so me.
It's a 2-part question. The first scenario is an open adoption.
Yeah.
So she knows what.
That's what I'm about to say. So for me.
So how do you handle that?
So for me, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be upset, but.
What you can do at this point?
Yeah, it what's done is done. It was 8 years ago. Yeah. So and I'm sure that when you look back 8 years ago, there's probably good reason. Like she's just explaining, there's probably good reason for her to say whatever she said. I'm not saying that she's right for not telling me.
No, that's not what I was about to say. I was about to ask, like,
you taking up a woman again?
No.
That's taking up on a woman. I'm saying is that's. I'm just trying to be mature.
I want to ask her, like, what I want to ask her is like, is the kid happy? Is he in a good home? Is he okay?
No, so look.
That's what I need to know.
So yeah, this is what I'm trying. This is the point I'm trying to get to.
Say that.
Yeah, this is the point I'm trying to get to. So I would be like, for one, I'll be like, yo, I'm upset with you. I wish you would have told me this. It's been 8 years. Where have you been?
Yeah.
Why are you you're just now telling me this? Like after I get over that initial point, then I'm gonna be like, Where, like, you know, like, do you have information? Like, I never, you know, if you really know me, we was in love. You know, I want to take care of my kid. So
you're gonna focus on trying to get the kid, find the kid at least.
to be honest with you, dog, it'd be something that I'm discussing with probably my wife.
How you tell your wife?
What's going on?
No.
I mean, I think that'll be easy.
That's the
to tell
least
my
amount
wife.
words 8 years later.
Yeah, that'll be easy to tell my
But
wife.
see, my issue is,
But yeah, I'm probably gonna try to go see my son.
I don't know if I'm gonna go try to see.
Talk to his parents.
Speak on it. Why?
The only reason why I say I don't know in that situation, why fuck up this child's life?
So-
if he only knows.
So let me
this.
ask some context.
Well, that's what I'm about to say.
Your ex tells you.
He said it's open.
Your
That's
ex
why-
tells you it's an open adoption, but open means she knew the parents.
Right.
She gave it to them, but she says she doesn't have any communication. She knows what they are, and the child was raised under the assumption that was his real parents. He doesn't know he's adopted.
Okay, that's
Honestly,
not-
that
He
shit,
looks-
that
he
shit
seems like
might.
he's in a happy situation.
I don't think I would honestly.
She sees a Facebook picture. She seems like they're happy parents. The parents didn't tell them yet. They have their own plan to tell them.
Okay.
They have a verbal agreement that I'm just not gonna be part of it. I just want to know.
Okay,
So
so
if he wanted to, when they tell him, they can go talk to
This is
him.
what I do.
Honestly,
This is what I do.
Let him go.
I honestly, if that was the situation, I would not fuck up this kid's happy home. Like, do you know how much extra trauma you would bring into that kid's life by coming out of nowhere? Now, hopefully,
You have to deal
it
with their
get-
parents.
like I would rather take that stress on the rest of my life versus a kid that had nothing to do with it. And especially, I knew nothing at the time where I could help with the decision of letting the kid know
So,
whether I was there
Are
or
you
not.
aware of that's? Let's say there's two sides of the coin. To prevent him from having any immediate trauma, to fuck up his life immediately, you're gonna fall back. Are you aware of the second side of that coin?
That's what I'm saying. Hold on. Let me say that.
You got it.
This is what I'm gonna do. Let me get the parent information. Don't talk to them. We're like, look, I respect y'all. I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for taking care of my son. You know, I was never aware, but I don't want to step on nobody's toes. All I ask from y'all is, you know, maybe the memories of those 8 years, can y'all share them with me?
Also,
Like, say, pictures, videos. He play basketball? Can you send me videos of basketball? Like, say, do we stay in the same city? Can I come to the games? I don't necessarily have to sit with you.
let me ask you.
You don't ever have to know
Let
who
me
I
ask you a question.
am.
If you was an adopted parent, would you do that?
If I was an adopted parent,
and this girl,
and he explained to me that situation,
a girl 8
I'm
years
not
ago-
saying that.
Let me give it to you. A girl 8 years ago say, "Here's baby, the dad's deadbeat. He doesn't fuck with his kid." They tell you all this. Whatever she said, you gave your kid. You raised his kids wrong. You have your own plan to tell them maybe when they're 16, 15, or wherever, when they're a little bit older, that they're gonna be adopted. That's your plan. So all of a sudden, a man calls you out of nowhere and says, "What happened? I was that baby's father." And mind you, this whole scenario, ex telling Tim, is all verbal. You don't know until you get a DNA test.
I mean,
so
I'm
that's
sure that when it comes to papers and shit involved, like that type of shit.
No, I'm saying you don't know if that's your kid. How you know?
Cause they never swab. Like,
So
they don't.
How
put
do you
that
know
shit
that's your
down.
kid? You just going off the assumption that the timeline makes
So
sense.
what I'm saying is, obviously, I'm saying is like, if it actually made sense in my head, I'm speaking of as far as
No, the timeline
if it made
makes
sense,
It's more
if
than
the
likely that's your
timeline
kid.
makes sense,
But
it's that I feel, if I feel in my heart that this is really my kid, right?
okay, sure.
If I feel like in my heart this is really my kid, let's say that I look at the kid, this is a spitting image of me, right?
Okay.
I'm looking at it, I'm gonna be like, that's what I say.
That just makes it easier.
Would
I'm
you
just saying.
be
What
able-
if?
I'm just
you know
saying,
what I'm
y'all.
saying? Give me a
I ask you
scenario
a
where
question?
you, even if you feel it as your kid,
That's what I'm
no
saying.
part of
Hold on,
you needs a
let me
DNA
ask him-
test.
No, let me ask him though. Like
8 years?
Bro,
Let's-
all
let's-
I'm asking,
let's
all I'm
stick-
asking
let's
for is
stick
a
with your
goddamn
story.
picture or
Just-
like
let's
just access to
One question,
his
one question,
life.
one question.
I'm not saying I have to be a part of his
One
life.
question, one question,
To him.
please. If you're the adopted parents, you have no problem with that?
That's why I'm talking to them.
I'm talking about.
If they don't want to, I can't do nothing about
I'm
it.
not asking. I'm talking about
What?
in this scenario. You're the adopted parents. So a man hit you up and be like, hey,
I mean,
want some pictures of my potential son.
It just depends. It just depends on maybe how he come to me and explains it. If I feel like he's genuinely telling the truth and he never knew, I feel like that's unfair to him.
Yeah.
So maybe I might set some boundaries. I might be like, look, 2 times a year I'm gonna send you some pictures, or look, all I can give you is, or I can send you this, I can send you that, but legally he's my child. I don't want you to add confusion to his life. The only way I can do this for you is if we can agree that, you know what, you don't contact him, but I guarantee you that when he gets a certain age or he turns 16 or 18, that I will give him your contact and I'll let him know. Like, that's a discussion for y'all to work out. I can't just sit here and just give you a direct plan. But if he comes up to me and I'm an adopted parent, and especially if I know my child and I feel like my child is still gonna love me no matter what, then it just depends, like I said, it just depends on the child, how you feel like the child reacts. So I can't give you specific details of how it happens.
What are you saying?
I don't know, nigga, you cut me off.
Man.
All I'm saying is like, y'all,
No,
I feel like y'all looking for a specific answer from me, and it's not really a specific answer. This is circumstantial.
Okay, I remember what I was saying. Alright, so how you said like, oh, he played ball, where's the games at, and you'll be there and you won't sit with him. Do you really think...
Circumstantial.
No, I'm asking you, like, do you think you as the father could sit there and be able to
Maybe.
not say nothing? I'm just asking because I don't think...
Maybe.
I don't think I could.
If I see that my son is happy and content with a great life, I ain't saying I'm coming to every single game. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, but if I know my son has a great life, you know what? Say it's a big game going on. My son in high school, it's a championship game. He don't know I'm the father. A state championship or some shit. I'm gonna go to that game.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying? Or like I said, hey,
that's why I'm asking you because that's...
I'm gonna go to that game.
And I'm asking you
Because I'm gonna respect, because I feel like this. Me personally, I feel like the adopted parents don't deserve me
to mess up their home.
Yeah, messing up what they got going on. But at the same time, I do deserve the right to at least, have a little bit of access to my child, because I was never given the right to even make a decision.
And I actually agree with
if I realize, because 8 years later, that my child is having a happy life, he's been raised right, he's respectful, he's everything that I would want my child to be. He's everything that I would want to raise my child to be.
And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would probably do the same thing. That shit would be hard. After that first game,
it's gonna be hard.
I'm gonna want to go, and I'm like, fuck it.
It's gonna be hard, but there's parents who do that. There are people that do that all over the country. This isn't something I just made up.
This is the
There are people that do that all over the country.
I agree 100% with y'all. If I'm the father of that kid, if that's my kid, I never met. He's 8 years. I'm gonna want to see him, and it would be hard not to do that. I'm looking at the point. If I'm the adopted parents, I don't trust none of that.
But not
I don't know you.
But not
I know I can sympathize and empathize with you. But I don't know you.
That's how you feel though.
Let me get out. So I don't know you. So it's like, if that was me, I know how I would want to be involved with my son. I couldn't even trust that we come to an agreement, because if it would be so conflicted. Because now, since it's that public, I'm scared the child gonna find out. Because once it's known, I don't know, it's not that hard to find out what school you go to. Hey kid, get this, you know what I'm saying? Email,
Okay, so let me ask you this. What if he come to you and say, look, we can do this the easy way, we can do it the hard way? I already know the child. Like, basically,
so that's why I'm saying.
I could just go up onto him and say the truth. But I'm coming to you respectfully.
You're right. So that's already why I wouldn't want to deal, like, it'd be...
It's not about what you want to do, it's about he's saying, like, I'm going to do this or we going to work this out. So then what you do?
Well, in that case, I don't know.
So that's what I'm saying.
That's not gonna force me to work with you.
But, I mean, now you're looking at it in a situation where, and it's not happening the way that you planned.
It's not happening the way I planned. It's already...
You have no choice.
The dad hits me up, the plan is already fucked up.
What I'm saying, you have no choice.
I don't think I have a choice to make you force you, because legally, legally it's my kid. It's not your kid no more.
Yeah, so
I don't have to do anything.
What I'm saying
is, charges, make restraining.
You're not gonna. He didn't sign nothing. She did.
What you mean?
If you're the dad and you didn't know nothing for 8 years, what you gonna do?
I don't know the law on that.
I don't know. Legally, What I'm saying is,
I'm saying he didn't know.
if he didn't sign anything legally binding, only she did.
That means
And
he has.
he go and say he sends your
it's not
child
that
to
he has-
He
DM.
would have to go to court then to settle
He
that.
would have
He
to go to
sends your
court.
child-
It's
yeah.
not like a lawsuit.
Until he go to court, he can't just come up and do
Take the
anything.
kid.
I mean, you saying that, but it's nothing for him to send a DM and be like, hey, I'm your daddy.
I get that.
At the end of the day, what you
Wow.
do? So then what? Now that the truth is gonna be out, so then now what? You gonna press charges, and now that's gonna make the relationship worse, probably between you and your child.
If a man that says,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm your daddy, he didn't get no DNA test, he just claimed to be his daddy, and then he's adopted. There's a lot of shit. That's
That's where the parents are gonna come in and have to tell the truth.
That's
I'm
what I'm
telling
saying.
the truth.
That's
That
my
doesn't mean
point.
automatically you gonna give up my kid and go let you.
I didn't
That's
never
not
say
what he
give
said.
up your
That's not what he
kid.
said.
Or
I
maybe
didn't say that.
Let me rephrase it. That doesn't mean I'm gonna automatically. That threat is not gonna make me automatically make accommodations for you. Send you pictures. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
That's
and,
not the
and,
case.
and what I'm saying is, okay, you're absolutely correct. You don't have to react to that. But if he stands on his word, now your relationship is in a bigger issue than
Now the kid feel like you've been lying to him his
Yeah.
whole life and blah, blah.
whereas
I'm
to
gonna feel that regardless.
yeah, but it's approach is different. The approach is different. You hear it from a stranger compared to them.
No,
So that's what I'm saying. Like you saying he thinking of opposite way, or we thinking of. I'm looking at you. You talking about speaking from a perspective of the adopted parent. What I'm saying is, from the parent that didn't know, he can literally step on your whole parade.
you can try.
It ain't no trying.
Yeah.
Because it's open. She knows who he is. So all she got to do is tell him.
Yeah.
So she told him, hey, look, like, and that's your scenario. You're saying that she told him.
So
This is our son. And
Yeah,
then
so
he
the
finds
first-
him.
My question.
What I'm saying is, if you, all I'm trying to say,
I'm responding to the fact that you will reach the parents first.
yes,
Then I'm gonna be.
that's
like,
the most respectful way. I would want you to, as the adoptive parent, if you're saying that you never had no idea of this child and she just went about it and adopted, and he comes to me respectively
The
and
first-
says, look,
The first thing I would have do.
me and him, we all sit down and we figure it out.
See, now we're going deeper into it.
That's all I'm
But
saying
that's
I would do.
What I'm saying is, I wouldn't be as open to just. First thing,
Yeah.
the first thing.
Well,
as
it's
an adopt-
not-
I'll be reluctant.
So
That's
if
my
I'm an
biggest
adopted
point.
parent, I'll be like this.
I'll be reluctant.
So you're an adopted parent, right? It ain't nothing for you to goddamn get some kind of DNA up off your son without knowing.
But I was say that's the first thing I would do. Get a DNA
Yeah.
test.
So what I'm saying is, I'm speaking from the point that okay, I'm saying I would work with him. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm gonna work with the guy, and and if it comes out that he's the father, we're gonna accommodate some way.
Yeah, I say
We're gonna figure it out.
Depending on the approach, I'll be reluctant.
We're gonna figure it out. But what I'm not gonna do, especially from a man who didn't have no inclination, I'm not gonna be like, nigga, get the fuck away.
No, I didn't say that.
Or I'm not gonna be
I
like,
didn't say that. I just said I don't like the idea.
man,
Personally,
about what you like at that point, it's here. That shit don't even
finish,
finish,
bro. I don't like the idea of you shadowing him and he don't know. That's really what I was gonna get to.
But see, when,
I don't like the idea you.
But
at the
when I
game,
said that,
then it's
but
like
when I said that, I said that as options. I didn't say that like this is what I want set in stone.
I get
And
that.
I think that's where the confusion happened.
I hear you.
I said there are options. That's what I'm saying. We can talk about it. We can figure something out. I don't even know if the boy live in the same state. You know what I mean? I said send me pictures or you know whatever we can do. Let's figure it out.
That would be.
Or maybe we need to just sit down and have a
I
conversation.
got another what's the scenario, man.
Oh shit.
All right, so this scenario,
Yep.
and you got a
Shout out to all the single dads out there.
you got a kid, you got your sibling, it's like your best friend. So your sibling's your best friend, and he's
Wait, you're a single parent, what?
You're a single parent. You have a kid, like a 4
And I have a sibling.
and you have a sibling. Both of you have a sibling. You have a real life sibling. Let's say you have a sibling. Y'all grew up. Y'all were close. It's like your best man, your best friend.
Yeah.
They end up being well off. Like they get rich or whatever. So now, when your child was born, that's their godfather. They help raise them. They spoil the fuck out that kid. Like spoil them rotten. Anytime the kid wants something, they get it. Money's not an option. But since you work, a lot of times you use the single uncle to watch the kid. As the child starts to get older, you're starting to realize that she's becoming a little too spoiled. Like when you get home, you start talking to the kid, you start telling them to do something, the morals you want. Hey, I need you to drink some water. But uncle I want some juice. I need you to drink water today to be more healthy. Uncle buying them everything they want. Or hey, I want you to learn some discipline, learn something you can't just ask for and get you want. So you talk to your sibling, but hey man, I would like you to kind of relax a little bit on buying everything they ask or whatever. And they kind of be like, man, I just don't, they ain't got no discipline in their body.
They respect it.
They don't got no discipline.
Mm.
It's not that they don't respect it. It's like they have a different kind of love for the kid. The kid is just, when the kid asks for something, no, kids start crying, I just give it to them because they ask. How you handle that? Now, mind you, you use the sibling for babysitting too, because you work to try to save money.
At the end of the day,
How do you go about that?
Sit down and talk to them like, look, I understand and I appreciate everything you've done for me. And just you contributing to their, their life. Like you are a big factor in their life. But I do, as a parent, I need you to respect the boundaries that I am setting for my child. And I hope that you can respect that. Like it's gonna be a talk in a respectful way. In the most, I guess, understanding way that I can try to break it down. Now if you ignore it, what can I do after that? I gotta goddamn
PS5s.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
Is that mean?
I'm hoping and praying and wishing. And even I might contact you and tell you why that you have, because I don't respect, but I mean at the end of the day, if your friend isn't respecting, or your sibling, whoever it is,
brother.
Yeah, however, they're not respecting the way that you want to raise your child, then there got to be some kind of separation. Because if I feel like the influence isn't positive on my child at this point, I'm done. I can't. I'm not saying I'm done, but separation has to happen.
How you handling that?
It depends on the severity of the extremes that you're going outside of what I do in my household. And I say this because I'm thinking of this. I heard your question, but I'm going straight to grandparents.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
And grandparents
spoil the kid rotten.
Have raised kids. They know how to raise kids, but they're gonna do what they're gonna do regardless
of what you say.
Like you can go back and forth.
Hey, Mom, I don't want to.
And eventually, if they cross that line too much, you may have to like back up and like, hey, look,
I'm not every weekend, every other weekend you come there. But that's true. That's basically what you said. You're not gonna tell your mom how to raise. You can try. But
no, I don't agree with that.
But once you cross some certain lines, then that's where the conversation got to be had. Like, yo, look, I understand how you want to treat this because this is your grandchild, but you didn't even raise me this way. And there are certain lines that we do in my household, and we have to abide by this to make sure my structure at home, he's not with you every day or she's not with you every day. So this is how I choose to raise my child. Respect it, or you're only going to see him however it's going to be.
Yeah.
Take it to a sibling. Oh, the line ain't as thick as it is with a grandparent. So that shit there is like, all right, cool. Hey, thanks for everything you did. Fuck it. I'm going to have to work a little more to pay for daycare. Because if you can't do what I need you to do, and it's fucking up my home, like if my kid is being disrespectful.
How much?
It all the same way.
How much is that? Is this more not good or bad, just strategy? So it's like I just don't want my kid to be extra spoiled, but if I was rich, I would do the same thing.
It would have to be an extreme. It would literally have to be an extreme.
The only way.
It's just like stylistically.
So look,
like if I can't afford a PS5, but
no, that's petty.
No, it's not that.
What I'm saying is when I'm thinking when you say spoiled, I'm thinking like maybe it's starting to affect maybe like their work ethic. Or it's affect, you know what I'm saying?
Like they got chores to do and they can't do this until they get do
or
their
maybe
chores.
like I tell them something and they know that they can go to somebody, you go to them and you know what I'm saying? And I speak to you maybe not once, not twice, not 3 times. Maybe I just keep telling you like, hey, stop doing this. You keep doing it and now it's affecting my household or it's affecting the principles that I'm trying to raise my kid off of, my morals, my standpoint.
Because the last line to me is gonna be,
You know what I'm saying?
I done told you before you buy them something, come to me because I probably already told them no because they was acting out at home.
Yeah.
And if you continue to do it, alright, look, I don't want you around my child unless it's a gathering. Like you're not gonna be the sole care sitter of my child.
I
appreciate everything you do, but you don't appreciate what we do. So if we have a group
your
event,
responsibilities for my child.
I'm not gonna take you completely out the life.
I don't think I would take them completely. I would just.
I'm not saying that when I say separation, I'm not saying you
Not
gonna ever
completely
see
out
them
the life,
again.
but like you're not gonna be the sole
We gonna slow
watch
it down.
person on my kid.
We gonna slow it down.
If my sibling rich, this is like my man's. Like we crack close, and I just know that niggas ain't got no backbone. I think the best thing is to take away the responsibility because I don't think it's easy to say, hey, when they ask for this, don't give it to them because I don't want to spoil them. But it's like that's all I ask, but my best offer. So I would try my best to take away the responsibility. And realistically, it's easy to say I'm gonna work more hours, get some overtime. But if that's not,
So are you struggling?
yeah. Or I'm not like in the best. I'm not well off. Like if I ask my sibling,
Can you not afford to provide by yourself?
not realistically, it'll be tough. It'll be tough. I'll be living on ends meet.
I just feel like
At that point,
situation can be solved simply with a conversation.
I would just be like, I'm just gonna try to limit the responsibility as much. But at the end of the day, if motherfuckers getting spoiled, alright, I'm just gonna live with that. Until it gets to the point where it's
Until you find another plan, then you do gotta live with it.
We just have to live with that.
But that would definitely make me go get another
The next
plan.
plans are in a full plan.
Like yeah. So eventually, just know.
Cause like shit, I got away at my grandma's house. I know I couldn't get away with it at home, but my grandma's always there, like 6-7 hours away from me. Once I got to a certain age, so that's different than being there on a day-to-day basis. Cause my parents would have got there, snatched me out of there quick. But hey, if my dad got to take a second job, my mom got to work extra hours, goddamn.
Well,
That's just like, gonna be what it is.
Yeah, and the grandparents thing was like that happens a lot.
That's like grandparents is the hardest.
That's like a stereotype. The grandparents gonna spoil the kid rotten. Not every single scenario. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's a stereotype. The grandparents spoil the kid rotten, and they're like, I get away with it.
I got a daughter, and both grandparents they spoil her, but I feel like they would work with me if I be like, hey, look, we trying not to do this right now.
I agree. I just think some don't have backbones. I seen it.
So yeah,
they start crying. Oh, I'll give you anything you want.
You know what? It's like that. Then you spending less time at grandma's house.
Yeah, like
it is what it
it's
is.
just it gotta be that way.
All right, man. Give us like 2 quick ones. 2 quick facts and cap.
One facts and cap then.
Bet, just give us one. Yeah, that's all we need. Shit, we did about 6. What's the scenario?
This will be what's the scenario episode.
Yeah, that's what we call this motherfucker.
Facts and cap. Is it better to do deeds? Facts and cap. Is it better to do good deeds in private? Facts and cap.
I'm gonna say facts because if I'm gonna do something for you, I really don't want no shine off of it except for a thank you from the person that I'm doing it for. Exactly. I done did shit for niggas that shit have never hit the light of day. I ain't looking for nothing except for a simple thing that I'm like I did it out the kindness of my heart. I don't like all that extra shit, to be honest with you.
So you say you don't like all the extra shit. Does it take away?
That's what I'm gonna say.
Does it take away?
Say cap.
Let me finish. Does it take? So let's say somebody films giving homeless people money and puts it on their gram. Does it take away the deed in your opinion?
That's them, but me, I wouldn't want all that.
So this is just more stylistically.
Yeah, like I feel like if I'm doing something out the kindness of my heart, I don't need a camera or a picture to justify. Like I ain't that type of person.
So yeah, I say cap. The only reason I say cap though is just because like I agree with him. I personally wouldn't want to do it like that. But at the same time, if it's still like affecting the person the same way. If I give you $10 with a camera, if I give you $10 off camera, you still got $10. You know what I'm saying?
In that scenario, but what if
Unless, like,
somebody feels like you are embarrassing them?
Because they ain't had to.
I mean, you
They
know,
have
that's,
dollars.
and I
So it's
also,
like-
and I also then tried to give homeless people shit off camera with no camera, and they also was like embarrassed. They was like, hell no. So I mean, I
I
guess
never heard that before.
listen. One time
What?
me and Gerard, one time me and
That's crazy shit, man.
Gerard used to live in the city. Remember when Gerard?
Everybody away
When
from me.
Gerard lived in the high rise in the city one time? No, this is when he lived in the high rise in the middle of the city. He lived in Boulevard. And I remember he had like some socks or some shit or some extra food from Thanksgiving.
Oh, like
or some
so
shit.
a random homeless person.
He tried to give it to a couple homeless people and they were just like on some shit like, nah, we don't want that shit.
Okay, I guess when I just started homeless, I was just thinking like they were at the highway asking for money. Y'all was walking, you might have saw a homeless person, and you try to give it to them or something.
I wouldn't recommend that you record it, but at the same time, what I'm saying is if the person accepted, right? If I recorded it and I give you $10, I'm just trying to get some clout, and I gave you that $10, and you appreciated it, or
Does it take away
I
from the
didn't
need? You
record
trying to get clout?
I think so.
I don't
Why?
necessarily think it take away from the D. I think it just take away maybe from yourself, my respect for you.
Why?
Just because I feel like he said, like I don't feel like it's necessary, but at the same time, the person is privileged with the $10.
What if I say I'm trying to inspire more people to do good? So I
Well,
show.
listen,
Okay, if that's the case, then Meek Mill had no problem goddamn splitting that $20 bill to the niggas on the side of the road.
I feel like this: if you're trying to
I
be
wouldn't have
inspired,
did that.
if you're trying to
I'm
inspire,
trying to inspire people. My goal is to show people my
so look, okay,
work.
and you know what? I appreciate that.
Just take away from it.
But I will let you know the consequences that come with that. Like I'll be like, all right, look, some people gonna look at it like this. I don't know if that's the best way to get what you're trying to get. Maybe if you donate and it later comes out, you know, people might respect you more. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you leak it. You leak it out. You ain't gotta record the visual.
What's the difference?
It's a big
It
difference.
look a lot better if you.
Why? I'm asking you. Seriously,
Okay,
what's the difference between me leaking a donation or me
So look, let's say Meek Mill
posting that we
Meek Mill
partnered?
record. Let's say Meek Mill record himself giving $500 to the Waterboy Foundation. Right? He records it.
Yeah.
Right? And let's say that Meek Mill gives the Waterboy Foundation
He
$500.
tweets it.
And no, he don't tweet it. I say he leaks it. So what I'm saying is he might tell somebody from the newspaper, and the newspaper says, sources say that Meek Mill gave the Waterboys $500.
I think that's crazy. I think that's
I
crazy
mean,
because it's about
listen.
perception at that point. Is it you're
I get it.
you're
I get it.
and
I
to the
100%
individual, I still want the clout, but now I just don't want people to know that I'm the one who put it out there.
I 100%
In
get it.
that scenario,
I 100% get it, but
now
that's
if you
how
say
social
I gave
media
it
works,
to
bro.
the that's to me, then I think the problem is.
I 100% understand how social media works, and that's exactly what a lot of people do.
But I think the problem then is the people. It's the people that
Jay-Z, I'm not saying that Jay-Z does this, whatever he does on purpose. Jay-Z never says what he donates, right? But because he's Jay-Z, it's always leaked, right? So what I'm saying is, if you're following that strategy, if you're really trying to get clout, because obviously you're looking for clout, I would tell you, don't put a camera in a homeless person's face.
No. I get.
I would tell
the
you.
smartest way to get clout is be
Yeah,
discreet.
that's all I'm trying to say.
I'm getting away from like the discreetness. I'm just talking about the individual as a whole. Like if you were to judge yourself, what's the difference?
I judge myself, I always felt better.
There's no
Just
difference
doing it.
between
Me
leaking
personally,
the information out and doing it. I would just say the problem is
I always felt better just doing it.
the problem is when you worrying about the reaction of people, it makes you change what you're gonna do. What's the intent of your purpose? Is your intent to help people and get clout?
Some people, and that's what I'm saying. For me, As long as somebody's privileged, the lesser fortunate person is privileged, I don't really give a fuck.
And I agree. My takeaway from that is it's cap because I don't give a damn if you got every camera in the world and you're giving that person. It's the same deed to me. It's the same deed. Whether you do it in private or public, it's not gonna make that much of a difference to me.
At the end of the day, if this person accept $10 either way, they $10 richer. And for me, that's cool.
Yeah.
So there we go, man. That's the Cap Podcast.
Episode motherfucking.
This the goddamn what's the scenario extended version. The extendo version.
Hey, y'all submit y'all questions.
I've been hoarse the whole goddamn show. It done got worse.
Yo, man.
We out, baby. Blood.
Stay clean as a whistle, you think you official, we know that you not. Hop on the mic and discuss every issue, might take a few shots. Kick back and relax, don't overreact, it's only your thoughts. Tell me is it facts, or maybe it's cat, we never gon' stop. Facts and cap.